Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. Let me just share this out. Hold on. Happy Friday. We made it to Friday, guys. We made it. How many of you think that this is going to be another explosive day of testimony? Dare I ask if it will be more explosive than yesterday? I think it might be. There we go. Yeah, I'm thinking so too. Let me see if we have any headlines. Let me refresh this. My circle got really small. Okay. There's something that we didn't even Yuri Buchanik. I don't know how it's said. Let me see. I know I had, okay. Buckheck is how it's said. Okay. I wrote that down in my notes in case I forgot again. Okay, so something else that's going on today is the Menendez brothers are in court arguing over the prosecutor trying to get him removed. Huh? I'm not disagreeing that at all. Not one bit. You're not going to hear an argument from me on that. Which woman? You got to be more specific. Jen? Karen? Who are you saying is evil? You forget we're not connected to your brain. What? Well, unless you give me a name, I have no idea what you're talking about. What have I missed? We're just getting started. Just started the live. I'm just checking the headlines before we get started today. I have a feeling it's going to be even more explosive than yesterday. I don't know how this is actually a trial and not a movie. It makes zero sense to me. That this is an actual trial. Yeah, squirrel. Squirrel. I don't know, guys. All right, let me just check our headlines really quick, see if we have anything important. Oh, it will be. Absolutely, it will be. But the thing is that this is also currently our justice system. If they could do this to Karen Read, they can do that to any one of us. The state has responded to Lori Daybell as well. I put that in a video, and I also put the pages on my Facebook group too as well. It should be in the fact that that one Yuri only got 5 days vacation taken away. I'm sorry, what? This is just Yep. Gotta remember though, guys, in here, we're serving as the virtual jury, so please, 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 please remember that. We have our oath, our virtual oath. Hold on. Where did that go? That circle was too small. It's going to get dinged for no movement if I kept that one up. There we go. Well, you heard the part where Auntie Bev had to address her attitude, right? How often does that happen? To the jury. Like, that's not saying anything one way or another. It really is. I don't know how we're here. I don't know how they haven't already gotten calls from above, but then you got to wonder, how high up does the corruption even go? Who would be above Bev, and are they corrupt too? It's just scary. It's scary that this has gone on for all these years and that she's not the only one from that same community. Okay. Do you guys hear about the canoeing woman that lost her life to an alligator attack in Florida? Oh, there was another thing too. Hold on. Where'd it go? You guys remember baby Caleb? His remains have been recovered. I know I just saw it here. Where did it go? I'll have to look for the story after the live, and I'll put a video out of it, but his remains have been recovered. Newark Airport radar goes dark for 90 seconds. Did you? Okay. I haven't opened it yet, so yeah. There it is. Thank you. I had saw it yesterday, and I meant to save it, and I didn't. So, yeah. Thank you. Caleb Collins. The Fayette County Sheriff's Office confirms they have found remains believed to be, hold on, those of the missing 1-year-old Caleb Collins. The story of Collins' disappearance first came to light December 8th after that accident that ended the life of the father, the sibling, and almost the mother. This is the one that they didn't even know he was missing. Where did were they on that property? Everyone's searching. A burn pile at the family residence. Kids are not pawns and they're not disposable. This is ridiculous. Wendy Bailey and John Bailey were both indicted on aggravated child abuse and domestic violence charges. The bond set at $1.8 million. Who is who talking to? Okay, that's a troll. Obviously not. You're the only one coming in asking who I'm talking to. Yep, we're going to get started in a few minutes. I'm reading the headlines. I do that before I get started. Beauty queen arrested in murder for hire plot. Makes new wild claim. What? Why do we even bother checking the headlines anymore? It's just more and more. Nothing. Okay, let's just go to the trial. Our world has become so sick and so twisted. I'm telling y'all. No, we start late every day so that way we could fast forward through all the breaks. So we will start at this time and we start in the very beginning. We haven't seen today, so please don't give us any spoilers, guys. Thank you, Kiki. Is she there today? Hold on. Nothing came through for that. Thank you. I imagine it is going to get very heated today, even more so than yesterday. Are you guys ready for this? Yeah, I know she's in New York. I meant, was she at the courthouse today? Well, that started out of nowhere. Aww. I wonder what it's going to be like her testifying while being pregnant. This chat is crazy on the live. If I go forward, yeah, why does it start just like that? I think they missed the start point today. There was an impact. I don't like that. Hold on. I don't like not knowing how it started. The site of that impact. We're going to check Court TV. I don't like that. I wouldn't want to be there at all, let alone the fact that she's carrying her child around that monster. Just the Superior Court, now sitting at Dedham, within for the Commonwealth, draw near, give your attendance, Michelle Desire. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and we're saying this court's in session. Court is in session now. No spoilers,
Good
please,
morning,
guys.
counsel. Good morning, Ms. Reed.
Hi.
Good morning, jurors.
I heard that. I've seen it too, but we can't see anything, so there's no point on staring at the front of the building all day, you know?
Happy Friday. I do have to ask you those 3 questions. Were you all able to follow my instructions and refrain from discussing this case with anyone since we left yesterday?
Were you all able to follow the instructions? I've only talked about it with my co-jurors. We're just getting started. You're on time. I read the headlines before I start. Ready? All right, let's get started. Thank you. All right.
Everyone said yes or no affirmatively. Were you also able to follow the instructions and refrain from doing any independent research or investigation into this case? Everyone said yes or nodded affirmatively. Did anyone happen to see, hear, or read anything about this case since we last yesterday? Everyone said no or shook their heads. Thank you. Could we bring Sergeant Buchanan in, please? And Mr. Jackson, are you ready? Ready. Okay.
Buchanan. It's going to be a cashew kind of day, you guys. Do you guys have your cashews ready? Thank you, Renee. Mila was here. She was ready for today, but she went and ate. So she'll be back. Thank you, Renee. This guy's a
Morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Michelle. No comment on that. Just leave it be. Okay. Literally talking to myself in my head and out loud.
May I inquire, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Good morning, Sergeant.
Good morning, sir.
Yesterday, when we left off, we had been discussing one of the trips you made out to 34 Fairview, specifically on an occasion in which you met Chief Berkowitz. I want to ask you a couple of questions to follow up on those questions that I asked yesterday. Did Chief Berkowitz ever talk to you about his communications with Brian Albert and or Brian Higgins, either at that time or afterward?
Objection.
She just went out to eat. She was
Did you
here.
learn that Chief Berkowitz had communicated one way or the other without telling me anything that they said?
Thank you
Did
for
you
the
learn
follow.
whether or not Chief Berkowitz had communicated with Brian Higgins?
No.
Did you learn that Chief Berkowitz had communicated with Brian Albert? And I'm talking about in the
Jules, can you type in and let everyone know that we started?
days before you were at 34 Fairview, which was February 4th, from the 29th to February 4th.
No.
Thank you. You know, we need to make a sticker of this guy's face. I almost did it, but then I'm like, what else do we put on the sticker? This is what
You
corruption
returned
looks like.
to the scene, you indicated on direct examination, on or about February 10th, 2022, to conduct yet another search, correct?
Yes.
And on that particular occasion, you recovered some 6 pieces of red and or clear and or black plastic. Is that how you testified?
There was numerous pieces. The exact number, I don't know. You'd have to refresh my memory with a report.
Okay.
Thank
There
you,
were several
Cora.
pieces. The exact number, I'm not really worried about. There were several, it was more than one.
Yes.
Okay. There were also some
Hold on to your heart me's, guys, just in case a flash starts that happens to be a heart me one. Thank
clear
you for the
glass
follow.
pieces, correct?
Right, Kathy?
Again, I don't know exactly, but if a report can be presented, it would refresh my memory.
Okay. Let's do that real quick.
He kind of resembles Popeye. Not that I'm saying anything bad about it, I'm just saying his face reminds me of Popeye's face. Thank you, Julie. I'm not making fun of anyone. I make fun of my own face on a daily basis, so I'm allowed.
May I approach you?
Yes.
Yep, this was Proctor's boss, who doesn't want to admit that Proctor was in charge.
Sure, you can actually let me front page that.
I was talking about the nose and the ears.
Thank you.
Let me know when you familiarize yourself with that report.
Catnip's here for her husband. Thank you, Renee. Mila, come on, it's true crime time. Is anybody else kind of excited for this? It's sad that we get excited for something because it's like a movie, but this is our
May I approach, Your Honor?
justice
Thank you.
system. Yeah, I could see like in his chin, like the way that everything, it just reminds me of
Did you have an
Popeye.
opportunity to take a look at this report?
I did.
Did that refresh your recollection
So
as
am
to
I.
the items generally that you recovered on February 10th?
Yes, it did.
Did you recover approximately 6 pieces of red, black, and clear plastic and 14 pieces of glass and plastic fragments?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Oh no.
You would obviously consider that to be an incredibly important.
Guys, if you missed any of the days, they are on my YouTube channel. And when you guys go there and you see them, if you could hit the thumbs up to like them, I would greatly appreciate that. I really, really would.
Part of the investigation, recovering physical items
Mom,
at
for
the
you. Yep.
scene of the incident, correct?
Thank you, Gina. How are you?
Every piece of evidence is important.
Can you describe for the jurors exactly where each of the, let's take them one at a time, where each of the 6 pieces of
Doing well. How are
plastic
you?
fragments were found?
All items recovered that day were found in the general vicinity where the other items were also located. The area had been excavated. I've been to that location several
Hello.
times, and it was all located in the general vicinity where it was initially excavated, but also where I was told Mr. John O'Keefe
Thank you,
was
Tammy.
found on the morning of January
Thank you,
29th,
Patty.
2022.
So, other than saying in the general vicinity, did you seek to
Thank you, Gina.
did you seek to actually document
Thank you,
where
Patty.
each item was found? In other words, by cross coordinates or some other such manner?
The exact location where each item was recovered from was not documented with a picture or GPS location.
Why
It was
would
still
they?
within the general vicinity of that 40 to 50 square feet or so, by my approximation, near the
Thank you,
flagpole,
Tammy.
between the street, the flagpole, and the fire hydrant. It was all the same
Thank you.
general vicinity.
So 40 to 50 square feet
Good
would be
morning.
10 foot by 5 foot square, correct?
Generally speaking, 50, yeah, 5 by 10, general area.
If I may, Your Honor.
Thank
I may
you,
approach this a
Catherine.
bit. Would you agree with me? I'm not going to pull out a measuring tape. Would you agree I'm about 10 feet from you right now?
I would agree with you, yes.
Okay. And from,
This is Karen Reed. She is being tried. This is her second trial for unaliving her boyfriend, who was a cop. But we're doing this as a virtual jury, so we don't put the research into it. This is our second time doing a virtual jury, and it's really uncomfortable for us because we like to research and dig into things. But I digress. We're the virtual jury, and we come in knowing just that. If you missed any prior days, I have them all up on my YouTube. Same name, Michelle's Criminal Musings.
jury bar, probably about 5 feet from there.
You're welcome.
Yes.
This case is all about corruption.
So we're talking about a relatively broad area for small pieces of physical evidence to be found. You would agree with that?
I would, again, estimate it was the general area, maybe 10 feet in one direction, 10 feet in another.
Same
and
guy, yeah.
5 feet out, maybe 3 feet out. They were the general area where it was initially excavated and then expanded with the snow melting. And all the pieces were within that general area.
But you were working on an assumption at that point, on an assumption that there was some
Right.
sort of an impact at 34 Fairview, correct?
I don't understand what you're asking.
You were working on an assumption or a presumption that there was an impact of a physical item, in your view, an SUV, with a human being, correct? That was your presumption at the time.
The evidence was pointing that impact took place because there was damage to the taillight. Large chunks of it was missing. And we were locating pieces that were consistent with texture, color, and size fragments from that SUV on the lawn. So I wasn't assuming anything. The evidence was speaking to us.
You weren't there, correct?
I was there recovering the evidence, yes.
You weren't there at the time of the incident.
No, of course not.
So
Exactly,
you were
Sarah.
utilizing assumptions and presumptions based on information that was provided to you. Yes or no?
We work by learning information, collecting evidence, and getting that evidence to suggest what happened. That evidence is tested, and then it's all put together into the case.
You used the word to suggest what happened, correct?
Yes,
Another word for a suggestion is if something is suggested to you, you then receive it and assumed certain things based on that suggestion.
What we do with suggestions, we corroborate them. A
Do
witness
you?
statement is, I
Since
guess you
when?
could say, a suggestion, and then we corroborate it through evidence.
And of course, you make assumptions based on those suggestions, correct? Yes or no?
We have theories.
Another,
Would that be developed by how the former chief of police called you up and said, "Hey, I just saw parking brakes on the snow area at 34 Fairview"? Would that be how?
term for a theory is an assumption or a presumption, correct?
I guess in some respect you can say that,
Okay.
but
So the
I'm
answer is
not
yes.
I'm not going to argue about semantics here.
I'm biting my
Well,
tongue like
you'll agree
so
that
hard.
words matter, right? I mean, you're testifying, so words do matter.
Words do matter. That's important.
So working off of your, as you put it, your theory, you theorized that there was an impact spot at 34 Fairview, correct?
Based on the statement I hit him, I assumed that Mr. O'Keefe was impacted with something. Initial hours of the investigation, we had those statements, I hit him. We had the statements that, oh my God, did I hit him? So utilizing that information with the evidence at that point that we had was a broken cocktail glass. So a theory would be, why is the cocktail glass broken? Because it came into contact with the victim. So that's why my information communicated to the ME's office was a possible domestic involving a glass strike to the victim. As a result, we had to go and see the victim's body
Hold on.
and the
If he
injuries. So
slips,
Mr.
that's
O'Keefe's
a big deal. Hold on.
with the victim. So that's why my information communicated to the ME's office was a possible domestic involving a glass.
That there was an impact spot at 34 Fairview, correct?
Based on the statement I hit him, I assumed that Mr. O'Keefe was impacted with something. Initial hours of the investigation, we had those statements, I hit him. We had the statements that, oh my God, did I hit him? So utilizing that information with the evidence at that point that we had was a broken cocktail glass. So a theory would be, why is the cocktail glass broken? Because it came into contact with the victim. So that's why my information communicated to the ME's office was a possible domestic involving a glass strike to the victim. As a result, we had to go and see the victim's body and the injuries. So Mr. O'Keefe's injuries presented a certain way, and we learned more information. So the more information that comes in, the more information that we are able to corroborate statements and collect evidence that further corroborates other information is helpful in the investigation. That's how investigations develop. If we knew everything we knew from day one, there wouldn't be a process of developing investigation.
So the answer to my question, Sergeant, is
Which would be okay if you were securing the scene and separating witnesses, but you weren't for either.
you were working off of a theory, correct?
Thank you,
Yes or no?
Connie.
We were working off a report of an injured male party, and then we developed the information, collected the evidence, and developed the investigation.
Do you know what the word theory means?
I'm sorry, English is like a third language for me, so if you can bring up the Webster's Dictionary, I can read it out.
You want me to pull up the Webster's Dictionary? You want to take a break real quick and pull up the Webster's Dictionary to define a word that you used in an answer about 40 seconds ago? We're working off of a theory, quote unquote. You said it, not me. You want me to go get a dictionary so we can figure out for the jurors what that word means?
Objection.
All right, sustain, let's move on, please.
You would agree with me, Sergeant Buchanan, that if your theory was that there was an impact, the site of that impact would be incredibly important, correct?
Very important.
Now that you caught it showers, now I can react. I didn't want to be the first one to say it. I don't like to be the first one that brings stuff out every time, so I wait for y'all to say it. Yes, he said English is a third language for him.
Yes.
And on February 10th, you went out to the scene and you indicate that you found 6 pieces of black, clear, and red plastic material and 14
He should be nervous,
of
Susan.
glass material and some other plastic
Very
material
nervous.
as well, correct?
Yes.
You didn't photograph it? Is that
No,
right?
I did not.
You didn't do any plotting of cross coordinates, which would have been easy to do to determine exactly where each piece was found, correct?
It would not be easy for me. I don't know how to do that.
You've never learned how to plot cross coordinates?
I don't have the tools to GPS coordinate an item.
Sir, why are you making this so damn difficult? You're making yourself look like a damn fool.
You take 2 points that are stable. You know what cross coordinates are? Take 2 points that are stable, like for instance, I don't know, let's pick something, like a flagpole that doesn't move. And you draw a line, pull a string directly over the item that you find. Then you take another another stable item that's perpendicular to that, pull that straight, put it down. That's exactly, you measure the distance between the two, that's exactly where that item, where those 2 strings cross, that's exactly where that item's found. That's cross coordinates, isn't it? Objection.
Sustained,
You ever heard of that? Objection.
sustained.
Do you know what cross coordinates are?
No.
Do you know how to plot cross coordinates?
You just demonstrated to me.
Does that sound reasonable and easy?
What you explained sounds easy, yes.
And you didn't do that.
I did not.
You also didn't, by the way, you had your cell phone when you went out there on February 10th, correct?
I would assume so, yes.
Your cell phone has a camera built into it, correct?
Yes, it does.
You indicated on direct examination you didn't think it was necessary to call out a forensic photographer to photograph and photo document where these items were found. Is that right?
Not only is this a cop, this is a state cop, and he was the boss of Michael Proctor, who's no longer a cop because he got fired after his handling of this case.
That's right.
But you could have pulled your cell phone out and taken photographs of them, right?
I guess I could have, yes.
But you didn't do any coordinates and you didn't take any photos.
I did not know.
I know, Rachel.
Can you show us a report that memorializes where you supposedly recovered these items?
Yes, the report you showed me, number 83, that documents that they were all recovered at 34 Fairview Road.
Right. So that's correct. There's a report after the fact that establishes that they were recovered generally at 34 Fairview Road on February 10th. But is there a report that describes exactly where on the property at 34 Fairview or off the property at 34 Fairview these 20 items were found? That's a question I'm waiting.
I didn't realize. But
Do you need me to repeat the question?
Was there a question? Go ahead, please.
Sure. Is there a report that documents exactly where at 34 Fairview on the property these 20-odd items were found exactly?
Thank you for the
The
follow.
report documenting where they were recovered from is number 83 that you just presented. Exact location is the same general vicinity. If it was something different,
You can't use general. Oh my God. Never mind.
if we located these items across the street, a different section of the yard, that would have been documented.
What's
Exact
documented
in
in the
general.
report that you just referenced says bullet point 2/10/22, meaning February
really
10/22 at 9:15 a.m. Sergeant Buchanan secured 6 pieces of red, black, and clear plastic, period. That's what it says, right?
Same general vicinity. If there was a different
That's what the
location,
report says, isn't it? That's all I'm asking. That's what the report says, what I just quoted.
that's the description of the items
So the answer
recovered.
is yes. That's what the report says.
That is part of the report. That is the description of the items recovered on that date.
Why can't you
And
not say yes
the
or
bullet
no?
point beneath that says February 10th, 2022 at 9:15 a.m. Sergeant Buchanan secured 14 pieces of glass and plastic fragments. Correct?
That's correct.
I don't know. Keep in mind that this is the prosecution's case right now. When the prosecution rests, then we get the defense's case. I have a feeling that's why it's 6 to 8 weeks. And if you guys missed any of the other days, I upload the lives to my YouTube when I'm done. Same name, Michelle's Criminal Musings. If you guys could do me a favor while we're listening and tap this side of the screen, I'd greatly appreciate it.
There is no further description of where those items were found, is there?
Thank you for the follow.
There is.
Where's the report with the further description of exactly where they were found?
It might not be in the report. It might be on the description of the bag, describing that it was 34 Fairview Road. The report indicates and encompasses itself where those items were recovered from.
Hi, Peachy.
Clearly, the same general vicinity the initial items were recovered from.
You might have followed that side, which is my backup. It doesn't always come live with me. So if you guys followed Michelle on, make sure you're following this one too. I don't always bring it with me.
If there was a need to document a different location, it would have happened.
But you didn't see the need to document the exact coordinates
I
where
heard that
those
as well.
items were found, did you? You didn't see the need.
It did not happen.
You guys remember how they collect evidence though, right?
Right,
In
right.
Canton?
Yeah.
This is evidence 101 to Canton. The leaf blower, solo cup, and a stop and shop bag.
Take a look at that photograph. Tell me if you recognize it, what's depicted in it.
Yes, I do.
What's depicted in that photograph, just generally?
It's the side of evidence bag that items were secured in. It documents the case number, the date, time, who recovered it, and general description of the 6 pieces of red, black, and clear plastic recovered from 34 Fairview Road in Canton.
I'd like to have that marked and look at it, John.
Okay, is there any objection?
No objection.
You're getting nervous, buddy. You're having a hard time sitting still. You getting nervous? You should be. But that would mean he has a general understanding of what he's done wrong, and I don't think he has that yet.
May I approach you?
Yes.
That's
That's a good question, Julie. Yes, this
Indicated
is
that the evidence bag would
state officer.
help determine where the exact location was that these items were found, correct?
The general location where they were recovered from.
We'll publish this, Sean.
Okay.
Does this look like the photograph that you were just reviewing?
Yes, it does.
That's just been marked as evidence?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Will, can we make that a little larger so it's more legible? Can you read that from where you are?
I can.
Moving past the date, moving on to the date, what date is that?
Date collected is 2/10/22.
So that's the date that we've been talking about, correct?
That is correct.
And this indicates collected by, and who's that?
That's myself, Sergeant Buchanan.
Description of evidence.
I believe he's a
This is where the
sergeant now.
description of the evidence is located on this evidence bag, correct?
General description identifying what's inside.
And what is that description?
Right now, he called him
6
sergeant.
pieces of red, black, and clear plastic.
And that's all it says about the description, correct?
Yes.
And it indicates location where collected. And there's several lines that are available to fill in, correct?
Correct.
On that first line, what does that read?
Hi, Joanne. How are
34
you?
Fairview Road, Canton, MA.
And that's it, correct?
That's all that was put, yes.
And you didn't fill this bag out, did you?
No, I did not.
Who did?
I do not know.
Who did?
I don't know.
You don't recognize the handwriting?
No, I do not.
You don't recognize the handwriting of your partner and subordinate, Michael Proctor?
Objection.
Sustained.
Are you aware that Michael Proctor filled this out?
Objection.
Sustained.
Were you with Michael Proctor when this was bagged?
No, I was not. I was by myself.
Did you give the items of evidence to Michael Proctor to bag?
No, I did not.
Who did you give it to bag?
I bagged it myself.
Whose handwriting is that?
I do not know.
If you bagged it yourself, then why didn't you fill out the evidence envelope?
I bagged it and turned it over, and I told him exactly where it was and what time, so someone else wrote the information.
You just said, I bagged it and told him.
I turned it over.
No, sir. No, sir. What you just said was, I bagged it and turned it over to him. And you don't know who it is that you turned it over to? Who's the him?
Turned it over to them.
Who's the him?
Them.
You said him.
Whoever wrote it. Whoever wrote it.
So we're just in a circle here. We can turn the lights
Objection
up.
to the commentary.
So, Mr. Jackson, no comments, okay? Just
Understood.
question.
I apologize.
He did, but this was on the
Um,
10th of February.
Ignore my last comment.
How is this actually happening? Thank you for the follow.
You had items of evidence that you've already described as being incredibly important, correct?
Those are your words. I actually changed. I said every piece of evidence is important.
Okay.
I see somebody Haley, you keep asking us who is Melissa. If we haven't answered you, we probably don't know, and I don't know who Melissa is. Don't know.
Since this is part of every piece of evidence, do you think this evidence was important?
Every piece of evidence is important.
So was this evidence important? Yes or no?
Yes.
So you had the evidence and turned it over to someone whom you don't know and can't identify. Is that what we understand?
It was a member of the Massachusetts State Police assigned to our office. It wasn't just a random person. I can't specifically identify who it was or who wrote on that bag. I know it was a trusted member of our unit and part of the investigative team.
How do you know it was a trusted member of your unit and a part of the investigative team if you can't tell these jurors who it was? How do you know that?
Because I wouldn't have turned it over to a random stranger.
Okay, so let's figure out the possibilities. Who are
We're just starting day 13, guys. We started late so we could fast forward through all the breaks.
among those to whom you would have turned this stuff over? Who are among them?
There was 4 troopers in the detective unit at that point assigned to homicide.
Let's name them. Who are they?
It was Trooper DeChico, Trooper Kakowski, Trooper Dunn, and Trooper Mike Proctor.
As you sit here today, do you believe
Former.
that you recall turning it over to Trooper Dunn?
Objection.
I'm gonna go through each person.
Everyone. There's only 4.
I'll allow this question.
Do you remember turning it over to Trooper Dunn?
No,
Do you remember turning it over to Trooper Pikowski?
no,
Do you remember turning it over to Trooper DeChico?
no,
Do you remember turning it over to Michael Proctor?
no.
So it might have been just a random stranger. Right?
That's a ridiculous suggestion.
You're not giving him anything else.
Have you ever seen Trooper Proctor's handwriting before?
Yes,
Matter of fact, you've seen it, I'm guessing, not dozens, maybe hundreds of times, correct?
not hundreds of times, no.
Dozens of times
Sure,
over the years.
sure.
On evidence bags, on logs, on notes, things of that nature.
Some evidence bags, some notes.
It's time to get the cashews out because I'm going to lose my damn mind. It'll stop me from talking.
May I approach you?
Yes.
I bet you are. I bet you
Take a look at
are.
that document and tell me if you recognize it.
The whole thing or just the front page?
No, just flip through and tell me if you recognize generally what that is.
Have a handwriting analysis brought in if we have to.
It appears to be a bunch of handwritten notes from possibly witness interviews.
Amy, we start late every day so we can fast forward through. This is today though.
Handwritten notes, fine.
Well, you labeled it Proctor.
It's okay, I forget
I don't
too.
know who it is, based on the individuals interviewed. Might suggest that these are Michael Proctor's notes.
Okay, so you're testifying that I labeled that Proctor?
I don't know.
Right, so you don't know.
Well, you provided the document to me.
Thank
so-
you, Amy.
And then you just testified that I labeled that Proctor. How do you know I labeled that Proctor?
Well, I got it from you.
You didn't see me write that note.
Objection.
Sustained. Questions, please.
Sure. That appears to be a series of Michael Proctor notes, right?
If that's what's suggested, yes.
Okay, can you turn to the first tab? Take a look at that.
Because Proctor got fired for his handling of this case.
Some of these came off.
It's fine.
And he was his
You said you
supervisor.
took a look at that. Do you see a series of handwritten notes appear to be from Michael Proctor?
His penalty was 5 days vacation days taken away. This guy's just 5 days.
Sure. The
Do you see
D.
a highlight?
Yes.
What's the word that's handwritten in that highlight?
Objection.
So why don't we come to sidebar with this document,
Sure.
please?
Sidebar number 1.
May I have just a moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
5 days
In
of
the ordinary
PTO
course
taken
of
away. Yeah.
business, is it normal standard operating procedure that the person who recovers items of evidence fills out the evidence bag contemporaneous to the recovery of the item?
It's possible you can do that. If there's a reason that you have to leave, an emergency or weather conditions, you can't write on the bag, you can
Hi, Lisa.
fill it out later if you have the time and you know where you recovered it from, which is like, in this instance, if it was a general vicinity where
No,
all
they
the
can't.
other fragments of evidence was collected from, it's known that it was within the general area of that section of the lawn near the flagpole between the street and the flagpole and the fire hydrant. So it's,
The person that filled out that evidence envelope wasn't with you.
well, I passed that information along to them.
Thank you.
I see. So now it's hearsay information that's being passed along to someone else to fill out this one.
Objection.
Sustained.
It's secondhand, let's use that word, secondhand information to the person that's filling out the evidence envelope, correct?
Hi, Patricia.
No, it's firsthand information. I passed it along to them.
So it went from you to a person filling out the envelope who wasn't there, to the police superintendent.
I was by myself, so yes, I told the individual what time, what location, the case number, the date, obviously.
How do you know? How do you know that you told the individual to whom you passed this along the time, the location, the date? How do you know that? as you sit here?
Because that information was then put on the bag and documented.
But you can't even remember who you talked to.
I do not remember specifically who I
Thank
talked
you,
to.
If you
Julie.
can't remember who you talked to, you don't remember what you said. Goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
That's not true. I might not remember now, but the day that it was bagged on February 10th, 2022, I remembered. And that's why the accurate, detailed information is on the bag.
A bag you didn't fill out, correct?
That's correct.
And information provided to someone you can't remember.
Today, I can't remember, no.
Could you yesterday, sir? And be honest.
You're aware that that particular bag, that evidence bag, was not built until March 14th, 2022, correct?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Those pieces of evidence were never booked into evidence until March 14th, 2022.
Those particular pieces of evidence were collected on February 10th, 2022.
Sergeant Buchanan, do you know the difference between collecting a piece of evidence and booking it into evidence, creating a booking label, creating an evidence log, things of that nature? Do you know the difference?
I understand the difference, yes,
Okay.
but you claiming that it wasn't booked into something doesn't mean that it wasn't properly handled in custody and under our control.
Sir, I'm not claiming anything. You're testifying. I'm asking questions. Was it booked into evidence on February 10th?
If you show me a document, I can tell you what
Sure.
it might be suggesting.
By the way, the evidence,
I still don't know how this man still has a job.
the actual piece of evidence. Which one? The photo. Oh, yeah.
What, babe?
I said, if his chief doesn't fire him when he returns after this, there's a problem with that police department.
There is a problem regardless. A big one.
I know. I disagree.
Because they see it as okay. But we're all paying attention now. So,
Again, if his boss is smart, he's gonna fire him as soon as he gets back. Hell, he probably should have fired him before that.
they need a full state overhaul.
Can we move on and come back to this, Mr. Jackson?
I think I've just gotten the documents that
Okay.
the sergeant needs. There are two documents here.
Did you show Mr. Brennan?
I'm sorry. You can take a look at those two documents and tell me whether or not you recognize them.
I still can't believe this is real. That this actually happens and that we're actually sitting through a trial and nobody's pulled the plug on it by now. And I know I say that every day, but it's for good reason. The fact that we have to say this every day blows my mind.
Half that.
I don't know who can pull the plug. All I know is there's got to be people above that can pull the plug.
I'm gonna leave those up there with you. Does one of those appear to be the log sheet for the crime lab?
One is a chain of custody report for the crime lab of all the evidence that was processed, received, processed, and returned. Yes.
And the other document?
The other document is simply a receipt of evidence being submitted on a certain day to the lab.
And both of those documents indicate that the first time
So who's her
the
boss?
evidence was submitted to the crime lab was March 14th, 2022, correct?
Objection.
I'm going to allow
Who's
that.
above the judge?
I will have to take a look. It's going to be some time, please.
Well, you can look at the top. Well, let me ask you, ask it a
Good
question.
catch, Emerson.
If you look through the log, it's in chronological order, the chain of custody log, correct?
I know. I remembered that.
He's about to get caught up in his lies.
By item, I believe, but I didn't take a deep dive into it. I have to take a look.
Right. Do you see any item, especially focusing on item 712 or items 712? You see any item being booked into the crime lab before March 14th, 2022?
I'm just listening.
All right, I'll take a look.
What are you making?
And just some of the taco meat that was left. It's still fun.
Don't get yourself sick.
Whatever. I've already been sick.
Aaron's been laying mulch outside today, so he's on a little break before he's got to continue. I'll take a picture later and show you guys how it looks.
I mean, the actual match probably isn't gonna happen until tomorrow.
No? It can't be that different, Kiki.
Refresh your recollection as to when the items were booked at the crime lab?
According to this document, yes, there were items booked at the crime lab prior to March 14th. In
What-
particular, to answer your question, completeness here, particular, that one item does indicate that the first time the lab received it for processing was March 14th.
So they were booked at the lab March 14th, correct?
The first time the lab received these items for processing, according to this document, is March 14th.
And there's no indication on any document as to where those items were before March 14th.
There is. We displayed the bag, me collecting them on February 10th, and they were in our possession at the Norfolk District Attorney's Office.
Whose possession?
The Norfolk District Attorney's Office.
Your possession? Specifically?
At one point, they were in my possession, and I turned it over.
Right. After you turned it over on February 10th, it was the day that you claimed to have found these items. After February 10th, they were not in your possession anymore, were they?
No, once I turned them over, they're not in my possession.
When you say turn them over, you're talking about turning them over to someone who we don't know, correct? As we sit here.
Right now, I don't have a memory of who I turned it over to, but it was a member of our homicide team.
So the next time, Sergeant Buchanan, the next time there's any documentation about those items is March 14th. Nearly 6 weeks later, 5 weeks later, correct?
I don't know that to be correct, no.
But you can't point to any documentation. You're looking at the logs. You can't point to any documentation indicating the chain of custody of these items between February 10th and March 14th. Is that right?
This is simply a log from the lab.
Yes or no? Can you point to any documentation?
Ask the question.
Can you point to any documentation indicating where those items went, whose possession they were in what circumstance, between February 10th and March 14th? Can you point to any document?
I know that it was collected on February 10th.
Right.
It's documented that it was collected. It was at the Norfolk District Attorney's Office before it was logged into the lab for processing.
You keep answering the same question that I'm not asking, sir.
Objection.
Sustained. No comments, Mr. Jackson.
Sir, do you understand my question? I'm asking, can you point to a single document for these jurors as to where those items went and in whose possession they remained, specifically between February 10th, when you lost sight of them, and March 14th, when the crime lab received them?
Objection.
Sustained.
May I approach?
Yes.
No, that should.
If looks could unalive, this guy has just unalived Mr. Jackson several times. Oh yeah, let's smile and laugh. Because this is so funny.
That judge should have overruled that.
As the supervisor, you're generally aware of the evidence in this case, correct?
It depends, but very generally on most cases, yes.
As a matter of fact, as the supervisor, one of your duties would be to make sure that evidence is collected and processed
Judge should have
appropriately and
overruled
properly,
position.
correct?
That's for sure.
That is the standard, yes.
You're also aware that all of the physical evidence that was booked eventually at the crime lab on March 14th, 2022, was done so by Michael Proctor, correct?
Thank you, Alyssa.
I'm not sure exactly who delivered it or who booked it in.
Just
But if you have a document, I will reflect on it.
I made it go on Karen's head. Thank you, Glam.
May I approach you?
Yes.
Not yet. I don't do it. It pops up when it's ready. I have no control over
Take
when
a
it
look at
starts.
that. Tell me if that refreshes your recollection.
Good afternoon, Barbie. Make sure you guys are ready for today. It's already been explosive.
Yes, it does.
May I approach?
Yes.
Thank you, Barbie.
What is this document you just looked at?
It's
Thank you,
the
thank you.
receipt
It
of
didn't
evidence
stick to her head.
submission to the crime lab.
And who submitted, based on that document, who submitted all of that evidence to the crime lab?
Michael Proctor.
You're also aware that Michael Proctor eventually submitted a total of some 46 or so pieces of taillight material that was claimed to have been recovered at 34 Fairview on since January 29th, 2022, correct?
I don't know the total pieces, but we didn't claim to recover it there. We recovered it there.
I knew he was going to say
You're
that.
testifying that they were recovered, but you didn't recover all of them, did you?
I did not recover all of them, no.
Matter of fact, Michael Proctor, according to you, recovered some of those items, correct?
Some of those items were recovered by Michael Proctor, yes.
After
And you're
late
also aware
unsecured.
that he submitted pieces of taillight material that he indicated he recovered as late as February 18th, 2022, correct?
I am aware that there was items recovered on February
you,
18th.
Alyssa.
I am not sure exactly if it was him or someone else that recovered it.
You indicated, I think in direct examination yesterday, that as of February 3rd or February 4th, the weather had broken, generally, correct? It was getting warmer.
Yes, the weather was warmer. There were rainy days following the 3rd, I believe. No, the 4th it was raining when I picked up that piece of evidence. So, yep.
Wait, you can tell us what their weather was back then, that it was raining on that specific day, but you can't remember who you had evidence off to?
The weather had warmed up.
So it was raining and somewhat storming on the 4th.
Thank you, Alyssa.
There was precipitation when I recovered that item. I mean, I don't know if it was storming, if there was a low pressure cell coming through. I had no idea.
Okay, but that's the same day that you were told that Chief Berkowitz was driving by and saw the trailers.
The day I picked up the single piece with Canton PD present, it was raining.
So he would have been driving by, windows up, water on the windows, in the rain, and saw the red piece?
Gotcha.
Sustained.
You indicated that on February 10th, when you did your final visit, made your final visit to 34 Fairview, you indicated yesterday during testimony that there was quote unquote very little snow still present, correct?
That's correct.
Not to my knowledge. I haven't seen Mr. Proctor on the list.
I don't think they'll bring him out.
I don't think they will either. With his windows up. I don't know his exact date of firing. I don't even know the exact year of firing.
You want a mayor approach?
I can't look it up because I'm on the virtual jury. We took our oath very seriously. It's not a matter of days. They're expecting approximately 6 to 8 weeks. Oh, here's the flash goal. Okay, so the flash goal for today is 39 roses from 39 different people. Thank you. This could be our 11th.
George, if that's a 2-page document, could you familiarize yourself with those 2 pages, please, and let me know when you're finished?
Thank you. We're gonna knock this one out of the park, you guys. Thank you. We're gonna have number 11 just knocked out. Thank you. You guys are taking no prisoners. You're saying number 11's happening. We're knocking it the hell out. Thank you, Lisa Marie. Thank you for the follow, Hannah Banana. Thank you for the follow, Jamie.
Okay.
Thank you. Sir,
Thank
what
you,
do those
guys.
2 pages purport to reflect? What are they pictures of? Just general, an evidence bag, something else?
There. I just-
The first
10
one's an
more.
evidence bag with some,
Some of the date, just so we can cut to the chase, the date of that evidence collection according to that.
Thank you.
on the
Melissa.
bag, the date is 2/11/22.
Okay, and what's the
On
second?
the sticker, there's another date. There's a sticker,
Thank
March
you.
9th of 22.
Okay, what's the,
There's also a date at the,
I'm just interested in the 2 pages.
8 more, guys.
I need to mark it for evidence. What's the second page look like?
second page is a large piece of red and black
Really, Sarah?
taillight plastic cover.
Thank you.
And it's identified by a lab number, I believe.
Thank you. The way that these flash goals work is it has to be 8 more roses from 8 totally different people who have not already sent 1 rose. So we need, yep. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Renee, thank you. We're going to get this one done. This is going to be our 11th flash goal completion. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Magnolia. Thank you, Court. Thank you, Erica. 1 more. Is it gonna, are we gonna get it? 1 more. Yes, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much. Yes, we did it. We knocked our 11th out. Thank you guys so much. Tomorrow will be 12. Thank you guys. I love that we hit this flash goal out so quickly.
Thank you, I'm sorry about that. So there's 1 page is an evidence bag, the other page purports to be the item that was in the evidence bag, correct?
I don't know that, no.
Okay.
It's just, one's an evidence bag with information on it, and then there's a photograph of a piece recovered. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to have this one, and introduce this next one over A and D.
I'm so happy we
Is
got
there
that one
any
done.
objection from the public?
Thank you, Lucid. And guys, if you're trying to help by tapping, make sure it's on this side of the screen or it won't count. In case you all didn't know. Thank you, Julie. Yeah, now you guys can send the heart emojis. We were saving those in case that was the goal, but it wasn't. It doesn't do 2 in 1 day. And that's why I saved mine too.
Exhibits 112A.
Thank you, Audra.
Go ahead to request to publish.
Okay.
Thank you, appreciate it.
If it says
Taking a look at
that,
this item. Can you
thank
describe for the
you.
jurors what they're looking at, please?
This is an evidence bag. It is labeled with
Oh shit.
case number, date collected, time, who collected it, description of items enclosed, the location it was recovered, and the victim's full name. It also has a to scale ruler for the photograph and some identifying marks from the laboratory.
Can you indicate for the jurors, who was it that collected this item according to the evidence bag?
According to this evidence bag, it was collected by Trooper Proctor.
And can you show the date, or tell the jurors the date that it indicates the items
This part.
collected, or items were collected?
I believe it says 2/11/22.
February 11th, so that would be the day after you were at the location, correct?
It would be the day after, yes.
Can we have the full screen, Mr. Wood? You see the designation at the bottom beneath the measuring ruler?
Yes, I do, yes.
Is there a case number or case designator starting with
Thank you,
22?
Lori.
Yes, I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe it's a LIMS number 22-02184.
And do you see an item number listed right next to that
Thank you.
case number?
Yes, this indicates it's 7-15.
And there's another set of initials beneath that, it appears, correct?
That's what, I mean, there's letters. I don't know if there's someone's initials. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. This appears to be something that was filled out by the crime lab, the black lettering and numbering, correct?
I would assume. I don't know for sure, though.
Okay, and obviously there's a date down here, 2/17/23, a year later, correct?
Yes,
And then it says Canton at the bottom.
yes.
If we could have the full screen, please. Okay, you also indicated that there was a label up at the top, correct?
Yes.
All right, if we could go to the second page, it would be page B of this. Can you look at first of all, look at the bottom and tell me if that number designator appears to be the same as on the evidence, as on the previous page?
The limbs or the item number? The item number is 715.
Okay, and that comports with what we just saw in the previous page, correct?
That is the same number.
All right. This would be an exemplar, one of the items in that evidence bag labeled 715, correct? There were several items, but this is one of them. Is that right? It's how the crime lab keeps them separate?
I believe so. I don't know their procedures. I believe so. I know they use alphanumeric identifiers. As I can't testify to their procedures, why they do it, how they do it, or the sequence in which, or the choice in numbers or letters. I have no idea
Okay.
about any of that.
We can have the lights up with the court's permission. We can leave this up. If you can leave that up, Mr. Wolf. All right, you can still see that on the screen, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You went out to 34 Fairview on February 10th, 24 hours before February 11th, right? To pick up a piece of, to look for additional items of evidence, correct?
I collected, I believe 20 pieces in total, 6 and 14, the day prior, yes.
You see the size of this, according to the rule. Generally,
Yes.
how big is that? The widest part, that.
You guys got to remember, some of these
At
pieces
the widest part, it
are
appears,
as thin as your nail.
there's no optical illusion with the ruler location, 6 inches?
Okay. That's the 6 inches is the size of a dollar bill, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Don't
It
overestimate
also
yourself.
looks like it may be more than that from top to bottom, 6, maybe 7 inches, top to bottom. Did you give us an estimate?
Possibly a little bit more, yeah.
Okay.
That's what they all say.
You didn't see this item on February 10th when you were there, correct?
If I saw that item, I would have picked it up.
Right. Wasn't there, was it?
That's not what I'm saying. I said if I saw it, I would have picked it up.
I'm glad
you didn't
somebody
see it,
caught
did
on.
you?
I did not see it, obviously.
According to the information that we just presented, this item was found the next day by Trooper Michael Pompey. Right.
Based on the information presented, that's what it says, yes.
May I approach?
Yes.
We can take that down.
You know, they say it's not the size that counts, but in this case, nothing counted clearly.
May I approach one more time?
Okay.
Thank you. This is a 3-page document.
Right?
Did you show Mr. Brennan? I didn't see it.
You showed it to me earlier, thank you.
I did previously.
Hey, Lindsay, how are you? Another explosive court day, and I have a feeling it's going to be like this every day. If you guys
Are
missed
familiar
any
with
of
that
the
document?
previous days,
When I say
they're on my
that's a bad
YouTube.
question, let me ask it a different way. Do you recognize what's generally in those 3 pages?
I gotta take a look.
Sure.
I must have missed your first
Sure.
request.
You missed a lot of requests. They're approximating 6 to 8 weeks for the full length of the trial. And keep in mind, the defense still is going to be their case next, so we got to do all this again. Well, anybody heard? Supposedly they're swingers.
Sergeant,
That is a rumor that we've heard in this chat, yes. But we don't know and we can't look into it because we are the virtual jury and we're holding each other accountable, so we can't look into that yet.
can you describe generally, just very generally, so I can either mark it or not mark it, do you recognize what's depicted on the first page, the second page, and the third page?
Mm-hmm.
The first page depicts an evidence bag from labeled date of collection 2/18/22. Second page is a red piece of plastic. And third page is also a photograph of a longer red piece of plastic with a little bit of black.
And trust me, it's driving us crazy that we're not diving in. This is only our second time doing a trial as a jury, and I hate that I cannot dig in. It's driving me up a wall.
Molding on it.
Your Honor, I would ask that that be moved into evidence as A, B, and C subordinately.
Is there any objections?
No objection.
Like, me and Catnip mess each other. We're like, how are you not doing it? How are you not doing it? Don't do it. I won't do it. You don't do it. It's crazy. It's really hard not to look. It's unaliving us.
Exhibits 113A, B, and C.
Move to publish, Your Honor.
Okay.
Sergeant, same couple of questions, if we could. Do you see a date of collection on this evidence envelope?
Yes, this photograph indicates 2/18/22.
And collected by whom?
Trooper Proctor.
Full view, Mr. Ward? Thank you, sir.
We start on a delay. So it is the same day, but we start later so we can fast forward through all their breaks
And then if we could highlight the lower portion.
and
that appears to be
sidebars.
by the ruler. Do you see the same, I think you called it a lens number?
Limbs, LIM.
Okay. The LIM
It would,
number is
Mama
the same
Bear.
number, the 22-02184, correct?
Yes,
And the item number in this one is handwritten as what?
716.
Okay, if we can go to the second page, please.
All right, let's just pretend that we all haven't already thought and felt the feelings that Jen had for Mr. O'Keefe. I could tell she was into that man. They
You
might
see
be
it,
on
first of all, on
lunch.
the bottom, the same item designator number?
Yes, 716.
And what is depicted in this photograph?
A red piece of plastic.
That would be a piece of plastic according to the item number that would be contained in that evidence envelope, one of the
Right,
pieces at
Julie?
least.
She did.
I would assume.
Okay, is that
Thank
a
you,
similar
Mama Sue.
6-inch ruler that's being photographed with that red piece?
Yes, it is.
And how long at its longest point would you estimate that piece of plastic to be?
It's more than 6 inches. I mean, probably
Don't lie.
7, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe
And
maybe 7.
I know this is
Listen, I know it's typical for some guys to overestimate, but you really, really shouldn't, sir.
a little bit of a challenge, but how from top to bottom, what would you estimate the distance to be at its longest point?
Like you would know,
3.5
right?
inches, I guess.
Okay, and then the
That's
next
more
page,
like
please,
it.
the final page,
3.5.
sub C. Do you see the same designator on the bottom right?
Yes, I do.
That's 716, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Appears to be out of the same evidence envelope, is that right?
That's what's suggested, yes.
And how long would you estimate this item to be?
7.5, 8 inches.
And maybe, what, 3 inches tall? 4?
Yeah, 3. Right.
Okay, we can have the lights up, Your Honor, with the court's permission.
Don't you sort of just almost wish that guys they were on the stand to answer that in an everyday thing, like just put them on and ask them that and have it be under oath?
Again, the last time you were out at the location with very
I
little
cannot
snow on
believe
the
I just
ground,
said that.
you collected certain items of evidence on February 10th, correct?
February 10th was the last time I collected. I said there was still snow on the ground, maybe in piles where it was excavated. There was very little, but there was still snow on the ground.
You indicated
It
that
still counts.
you obviously looked around the area, you talked about the general area, and I think you used the word general
What,
vicinity,
baby?
right? When
Yes.
you collected your items.
Yes.
You didn't see this, and you didn't see the one before it either, did you?
If I saw any of these items, they would have been collected. We did not excavate anything. We simply allowed the thawing and natural recession of the snow to reveal additional items.
Thank you, Redbird. How are you?
When you were there on the 3rd, February 3rd, there was still some snow on the ground, and you did excavate, correct?
Yes, there was a lot of snow on the ground.
Andy,
Yes.
what
By
you doing,
February
baby?
4th, that snow was dissipating some.
It was, yes.
You were excavating through that as well, correct?
On the 4th?
On the 4th?
No, we did not excavate on the 4th. The item revealed itself and I
Thanks,
collected it.
That was it, okay, fair enough.
I'm doing good.
Then on the 10th, you didn't need to do any more excavating because there was quote unquote, in your words, very little snow,
Thank you for the follow, Patty.
right?
Those were my words. Compared to the first day, there was very little snow on the ground.
And in fact, you did not see any
Abby, you stop that growling. I did not raise a bully. Sorry.
of the items that were collected or claimed to have been collected at 34 Fairview by Michael Proctor.
Yeah, we start
on
late,
February
Luna.
11th, the day after you were there, correct? Did not
That
see
is-
that item?
Did not see that item, no.
And did not see any of the items that you've seen that were claimed to have been collected by Michael Proctor
welcome,
on
Patty.
February 18th, a week later, correct?
Those items were not observed by me or else I would have collected them.
Obviously, and we're going to take your word for it, sir. We have to keep the humor in this, guys, because if you think about it, true crime could be a really dark place, and you don't know how much darkness there is. You got to shed some light in it. Got to.
We can take this down.
It just showed right up. If only they would have used the leaf blower, maybe they would have found it all. That's sarcasm, guys. I'm going to say I said that like I really meant it. Yeah.
I want to change gears for a second.
If we don't
Sergeant,
laugh, we might
if it's
cry.
okay with you, and switch to the Waterfall Bar and Grill. You indicated
More
that
water. Yeah, you're gonna
on
need that
direct
water.
examination, you reviewed video evidence and you had information that John O'Keefe and
Thank you,
Karen Reed
Celeste.
arrived at the waterfall after leaving CF McCarthy's, correct?
That is correct.
I'd like to ask you about who your investigation revealed was there at the waterfall when they arrived. What about
Yes.
Brian Higgins?
Yes, the investigation revealed Brian Higgins was at the waterfall at their arrival.
And you learned that
Right, Seth?
John O'Keefe and Karen Reed arrived at the waterfall together, not separately, correct?
That is correct.
About what time did,
Here goes.
according to your investigation, Mr. O'Keefe and Ms. Reed arrive at the waterfall?
Probably.
I believe it was 11:03, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
When they walked in, you've reviewed the video, correct?
Yes, we played it yesterday, yes.
When they walked in, Brian Higgins was already situated in the waterfall, standing or sitting at a sort of a high top bar table,
Thank you for subscribing, Kay. I appreciate it. Welcome to the family.
correct?
Brian Higgins was present. I don't know his exact location. The video would depict it.
You did
It did
learn
depict
that
it.
Brian Higgins, on January 29th,
There we
January
go.
28th, going into January 29th, 2022, had what could be generally referred to as a romantic interest in Miss Reed.
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you receive certain text messages from Brian Higgins during the course of your investigation?
Thank you,
I
Patty.
received extraction of his text messages. I did not receive any text messages.
Did you actually receive an extraction from his phone, or was it simply text messages that he supplied to you on his own?
It was extraction of text messages on a CD and also printed out the same document.
Did you perform that extraction, or was that extraction performed at your request by Massachusetts State Police from his phone?
It was not performed by me, and it was not performed at my request.
Okay, so in fact, when you met with Brian Higgins, he simply provided you something that he said had been extracted from his phone. Correct?
Sustained.
Did he provide you something?
Yes,
Did Brian Higgins indicate that he had taken those off of his phone?
objection.
Sustained.
What was your
Thank you for the
understanding
follow, Holly.
about what the items were, the pages of text messages that you received? What was your understanding about where they came from?
From his device and his communications with the defendant and Mr. John O'Keefe.
But you did not have a forensic extraction performed, correct?
That's correct.
That would take initiative.
Brian Higgins never gave you his phone to perform a forensic extraction, correct?
That's correct.
So the items that you received were directly from him and him alone. Is that right?
He handed me the items. I don't know who else was involved. You said him alone. He handed me the items.
That's what I mean.
If you don't know who Higgins is, you're about to.
You reviewed those text messages back and forth, correct?
He was interested.
It's been some
in
time,
Karen.
but yes, I had.
And those purported to be, I think you already said, those purported to be two strings, I'm going to call them strings of texts. Some string text messages between Brian Higgins and John O'Keefe, correct?
Yes,
And some string text messages between Brian Higgins and Karen Reed, correct?
yes.
Did you miss much? No, he just sat there over exaggerating his size. I mean, You didn't miss much, but it's all going off right about now because they're talking about Higgins and how Higgins handed in his own extraction.
Would you describe the text messages between Brian Higgins and Karen Reed that he presented to you as flirtatious in nature?
Thank you for the follow, Court.
Without having recently reviewed them in detail, I don't want to label it something without having complete
For
understanding
the love of God, pull out the damn text messages for the man.
of the content. I'm not comfortable putting a label on something.
Well, how would you describe them? I mean, were these business texts?
Oh, okay.
No, these were, friendly communications. I don't want to put a label on it. They were communication between acquaintances or people that know each other. There was text message communication. As far as flirtations, I would have to take a look at
Is
the
he
content
serious?
of it for certain terms that would support that label.
Well, do you remember a text message exchange about a kiss that was shared?
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you remember any text message between the two of them that suggested a romantic interest, either one of them may have had based on the text messages?
Objection.
Sustained.
May we approach your honor?
Yes.
Okay. Did Higgins kiss Karen Reed? And if yes, did John O'Keefe find out? Don't worry, we could skip the flag part, or the fan part. Why did I say flag? Because of flag poles, but yeah.
I need you to stay for just a second, please, Sergeant. So how are we going to get, I know you're very careful about not talking to witnesses when they're on the stand. So you're to give Mr. Brennan copies of everything that we talked about, and somebody's got to give them to Sergeant Buchanan to review.
I think we're about to find out.
Okay.
I don't know why they
Need
don't give
copies as
reasons.
well.
I've asked
So
that too.
if you can get them to Mr. McDermott so I can have them, that'd be great.
I'm sorry?
No, that won't save time, actually, Mike. No, so Mr. McDermott will make copies. Thanks, Jen.
Keep in mind, Lucid. Keep in mind. It still has to be the defense to present their case. They may still do that, and we just don't know it yet. But yes, we know about that video. We know about the push and the shove. We know. Let's hope the jury
All
does
right, so
too.
see you back here in half an hour. If you need me before then, let me know.
All right, half an hour break so they could get that stuff printed off, but not for us. That's why we start late. Okay. I have a feeling we're going to catch up today and that. There's a lot of breaks happening here.
Excuse me. Sorry.
All right, and we are back. You are welcome. Yep, it's patience with parameters, right, Glam? We have patience, but please hurry kind of people. We're patience with parameter people. The shoes, I believe, were discussed yesterday in court. If you missed yesterday's, I put it up on my YouTube after I'm done with each live. Patience with parameters.
So it's back in session, you may be seated.
I stole that parameters from Glam.
Jurors, we appreciate the long break. We did it in an effort to make sure things go a little bit more smoothly from here on.
No, I didn't know that, Maple.
All right, Mr. Jackson, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I approach?
Wow. Maybe they'll get to it. I don't know. when we do cases like this is only our second time doing a case as a virtual jury, and none of us can look into the case. We can't research anything. Our hands are tied to this, and it's driving us absolutely crazy.
Sergeant, I've handed you a document in addition to what's been marked as evidence,
My hands are
item
tied.
111. There's a document that's heavily redacted. Do you recognize, or do you see that document?
I do.
Do you see a word on that document?
Yes, I do.
Does that appear to be a redacted form of the document that is the same document or the same page or copy of that page that you saw this morning from those notes?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'd like to have that marked as next in order, the redacted document with court's permission.
Okay.
I take that with the weight that I take to that
And with the
the
permission,
evidence captured with the leaf blower.
It's in 114.
He just rolled his eyes at the
May I,
judge.
with court's permission, put a side by side of the single word that we discussed at sidebar from evidence?
There's been plenty of reasons for this to be thrown out,
114.
and it hasn't happened yet.
There is.
Yes, not at this time, Mr. Jackson, no.
Thank you, Redbird.
In your opinion, having seen those two words next to each other, do they appear to be the same or similar handwriting?
In my opinion, they appear very similar, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. It's driving me crazy that I can't dig into this.
May I inquire with counsel for just a second? Sure.
The virtual jurors or the actual jurors? Because our minds are trying to figure out how the hell this trial is still going on. Thank you for
May I
the
approach
follow,
one more
Gloria.
time,
Thank you for the follow, Esma. This is delayed. It's today's, but we start later to get through all the breaks.
At least try to.
Thank you, Maple.
May I approach?
Yes.
Patience with parameters is practiced in here. Patience with parameters. We fast forward.
Sergeant, could you just flip through that briefly and tell me if you generally recognize what that document
Absolutely.
is?
Well, we know it's not English. He called that his third language. Guys, we got to remind Kathy to pick up her kid in 2 hours and 20 minutes. Someone set a timer, please. It's a group effort in here. Group effort.
I do.
Thank you, Sergeant. What is that document generally?
Generally, it appears to be screen captures of text message conversation.
We know, Kathy.
Is that the document that you earlier referred to
We're the
as
same way.
having received from Brian Higgins?
It's a printout of the document, yes.
You saw something in electronic format, I take it,
Yes.
and you reviewed it on a computer?
Yes.
Thank you, Maple.
Did you receive the electronic file on a thumb drive or a CD or something like that?
I did.
Okay. And this appears to be a true and accurate representation of that electronic copy that you received from Brian Higgins?
To
To the
Central
best of
Time.
my understanding, yes.
And is that document reflective of the text messages that Mr. Higgins indicated to you were between the string, as I use that word, between Brian Higgins and Karen Reed?
Back 1 hour.
This
to
is what was
Central.
provided, to the best of my understanding, and now has been printed out.
Okay. With court's permission, I'd like
Babe, will you set an
to
alarm
ask
for
the
2
witness
p.m.?
to read the
Please.
text messages that he was provided by Brian Higgins
We're yearning into the reminding
So we're
us.
gonna mark this
for identification only.
The EE for identification.
You got it, babe?
You set an alarm for 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
You're certainly not asking him to read this whole document.
I expect to.
I'm gonna see counsel.
Bev called a sidebar because he wants him to read the whole stack of pages, and I'm clearly Bev has a problem with that. Cat. Let's see how long this sidebar is.
Be marked as the next exhibit.
Mr. Jackson won.
I have two instructions for you folks. First is,
Don't
as
tell
I
us,
told you
Jody.
before you consider any electronic communication in your deliberations, you must first find that it is more likely true than not that the person who authored or sent or created or transmitted the communication was in fact here, the defendant, or Brian Higgins. If you do not find that it is more likely true than not that Ms. Reed was the person who authored or created or transmitted the electronic communication, or Brian Higgins was the person who authored or created or transmitted the communication, then you may not consider that electronic communication at all in deciding your case. Now, if you do, if it gets past that and you do find that that burden has been met, these messages are not being offered to show the truth of the statement. They're simply to show that this information was in fact provided to the Mass State Police for their investigation. Those are the instructions. All right.
So we're about to find out the text messages, and it's not supposed to affect how we see the case, in case you guys were wondering.
Right, with that, Mr. Jackson, go right ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
Yes, I'm going to let the witness have that pack. Oh, he's got one. Oh, you know what, Chrissy, I'll take one back. The one for ID will now be the exhibit, and I'll take the other one.
That's right. It wasn't officially gotten through any other means except for Mr. Higgins himself. Unless he says otherwise.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sergeant Buchanan, do you have a document in front of you that's been marked as Exhibit 115?
I do.
If you could, starting at the beginning, do those purport to be text messages between Brian Higgins and Karen Reed?
Yes, they are.
Right, Jamie?
Does that printout accurately reflect what you received in electronic form from Brian Higgins during your interview?
Yes.
If you could start at the beginning and read
That is Joe.
the text string indicating the date of the text, if it's dated, who it's from, who it's to, and the content.
I'm gonna have to put my cashews back out for this.
Yes, sir.
He does not want
The
to.
text messages begin Wednesday, January 12th at 8:27 p.m.
Wait, I just realized what he could have texted her a picture of, and I hope he didn't.
Incoming text message to Brian Higgins' phone from Karen Reed. Hey, Brian, it's the weed whacker. The response is a question mark, followed by a picture of a six-pack of Smirnoff Ice screwdriver and appears to be a package store cooler, followed by a YO response. And that is it for January 12th, Wednesday. Do you want me to continue, sir?
Yes. May I have just a moment, Your Honor? Going back to the Smirnoff container, that was from whom and to whom? For the picture of the Smirnoff.
It appears it was from Brian Higgins to Karen Reed.
Okay. If you could make sure to delineate from whom and to whom each text is
Every time?
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, and go ahead and proceed.
Thursday, January 13th, 9:24 a.m. From Karen Reed to Brian Higgins. Did you try those Smirnoff? there is a haha acknowledgement response to that text message by Brian Higgins. The next page, it's the same bubble, but continue on the next page. I will repeat. Did you try those Smirnoff screwdrivers? Question mark. I stopped at the Hilly for one last night. A Bitmoji showing teeth. That is sent from Karen Reed to Brian Higgins.
If you could, and I hate to ask this of you, but if you could tell us who it's from before the content, for instance, from Karen Reed to Brian Higgins, content. That would just be a little easier, I think,
Okay.
in flow.
The last one was from Karen Reed. She stated, did you try those Smirnoff? And that she stopped by at the Hilly last night for one. From Brian Higgins to Karen Reed, haha, followed by same person. How did you get my digits? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Karen Reed to Brian Higgins, the Melissa and Lito show. Brian Higgins to Karen Reed, ha ha. Brian Higgins to Karen Reed, I thought you creeped John's phone. Brian Higgins to Karen Reed, ha ha. Karen Reed to Brian Higgins, no way, with an emoji, person holding an X in front of them. I was the last person in Greeter, Canton, who didn't have your pound sign, number sign. I think even Carrie has it.
I'm going to see counsel at sidebar for just a minute, please.
You just now thought about what could be in those text messages too, Bev? Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to take a minute and think that we have this document here. And also to make it a little bit easier for everybody, Sergeant Buchanan, you do not have to describe the emojis. You don't have to say anything about what the pictures are, and you don't have to say the punctuation now that we'll be able to have it. But you are being asked to read which text is from whom. Maybe if we agree upon the color, you won't have to say that. Can there be an agreement with that, counsel?
We can do that.
I'll stipulate that the blue bubbles appear to be Mr. Higgins.
And the gray,
bubbles appear to be Mr. Reed, the text response.
okay.
That's agreed.
All right, I appreciate that. So you can just read the screen or read what you have in front of you.
Do you want me to start at the beginning or?
No, let's just go. Let's just start where you ended, if you could, please. All right, can we turn the lights down? Can you see it, Sergeant, with the lights off?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
I just don't give my personal number to anyone. How would Carrie have my number? Melissa had it. I actually don't know if Carrie does. Felt like everyone had it. Haha. I knew she did. Sorry you felt neglected. Haha. So no dice on the Smirnoff? I have not tried it. Saw it in the store the other day and thought of you. I laughed out loud. Don't give Carrie my digits. Thought of me and everyone's grandfather. I won't give your digits to anyone. You don't like Carrie? I have no issues with Carrie. Just don't want her having my jack. Saving you as Karen, screwdriver, or weed whacker. Need to think about it a little. I prefer weed whacker.
Welcome back. Perfect timing.
That's to think about nicknames. We were tossing around the idea of a short vacay with the current show. Wanted to see if you were game. You don't have a say? Vacation? Where? I know. They need to happen organically. I'm the queen of nicknames.
Karen and Brian
Was just
Higgins.
going to rent a beach house in Fort Laud. Something quick and easy. I'm queen of vacays too. Always a good time. I'm going to Nashville next month, 19th through the 21st, for a benefit. One of our guys got shot in the head. You guys should come. So you claim. Advertisement. Jesus, is he alive? Was he from Massachusetts? Yes, he is alive, not from MA. We were thinking late March. I guess a guy in his group is friends with Old Dominion Band. Kid Rock's supposed to be there too. I have a tough time with country. I was a Kid Rock fan back in the day. I agree. Of course you were. From Brockton. LOL. That's how I got my street cred. Funny. I didn't know you had any. LOL. Carrie said you tag along. No one would say that about me. How would I know? We all frequent the same watering hole. I don't know Carrie well. She talks about herself a lot, but I guess so does everyone. I don't ask questions, just make observations, assess, and decide. I am
Welcome
quiet.
back.
That's a good policy. You can read most people in a few minutes. Excuse me, mins. Yep, for sure. You go out with last night? Myself. I only had a drink and a half. Sadly, I know everyone at this point. Lame. Why is that bad? BC. That's how much I go in there. What do you do for work?
Thank you, sugar.
I've never had a problem going to bar/restaurant solo. I go there a little. I'm a college professor. Solo is cool. I was an adjunct previously. Oh, really? Did you mention that? Anna Maria, Quincy College, and BHCC.
This is Michael Proctor, supervisor. That was on the stand. He's the one reading the text messages.
I teach afternoons and work downtown during the day. What is BHCC? University of Southern Charleston, aka Bunker Hill Community College. Oh, nice. Trust is life. Line from Good Will Hunting in the classroom at BHCC. Funny, a savant from Brockton. I'm not making fun of BHCC. My parents met at community college. Followed river rights. You're very random. How so? You just are. I don't think so. What's random? Haha. I had no idea who this was last night, for a few minutes anyways. I mean, what's random about me? I think I'm pretty predictable. How so? You must go around beeping at a lot of weed whackers, excuse me. Nope, never. It was my one-time thing. Sounds like I'm scattered and all over the place. I learned my lesson. You have your shit together. That was mortifying. I am still really sorry. Not completely, but for the most part, yes. Sure you are. One thing I don't think you was sensitive. When was I sensitive? To the weed whacking incident. I just snapped when I think guys are being creeps. Can't help it. I'm not a creep. No, you're not a creep. Nope. You're kind of a loner, which I used to be. Not really. I have a ton of buddies, but I only let a handful of friends in that I am tight with.
Higgins and Karen Reed.
So you think you got me figured out? Circle of trust. Yeah, I said loner, not loser. I assume you know a lot of people? You never really can figure anyone out completely. Your dad died when you were young? He died in March of 2020. I am so not a loser. You won't figure me out, LOL.
Federal.
No one is a loser. I just didn't mean loner. to imply friendless. I'm sorry, that's recent. It wasn't COVID, was it? Cancer. I know you date girls who don't lock the house behind them, and you arrive private and observant. I'm sorry, what kind? Lung, brain, kidney, and pelvis. How do you know all these things? LOL. You're funny. Yikes, wow, that's rough. Jesus. I'm sorry. We chat a lot at the hillside. Don't be sorry, life is hard sometimes. I always figure it out. Who chats? Life is hard, but losing people is the hardest.
The difference.
So I'm sorry. We chat. That all you got WeChat? Sure, you're from Brockton. Spit it out. You and I chatted about the girl who kept forgetting the door lock. Oh, she has been out of play for like 3 months now. Out of rotation? Nah, just out of play. I am solo, no rotation. I am not a hoe. Solo? Solo like no rotation, or woman for that matter. Not locked down, haha. Good for you. That's the best way to be. Yep. Has its benefits for sure. Are you working? Remotely. Oh, tough life. Live like a queen. I just got a Saturday invite. Did you say yes? Not yet, but did respond. What did you say, Mr. Elusive? No, I just don't want to intrude on your couple's night. Haha, I am shy. We prefer to hang out with non-couples. Bob Gallery is probably coming too, solo. We'll probably do cards or something at some point. Some PT, excuse me. I'm inviting you, haha. John said, quote, Brian is being wishy-washy now, end quote. Haha. Did you tell him to text me? No. You cranky now? Haha, no. Just stop being so anti-couples. Most couples don't even like each other. Name a few. Name a few? I don't know.
I'll
All
pay
of
more
them?
attention to that.
They all want to hang out with single people? I need a drink. I had a blueberry beer. I'm jealous. Hey, I'm trying to menu plan for Saturday, Mr. Elusive. Don't count on me. Boo. Haha. I am sure you will get over it. Just got my first drink. Where? Brick House.
January 14th.
You tied one on last night? I was just thinking about you. Haha. Yes, 4:30 a.m. came early this morning. Eek, that's early. You out late with the Commodores? Solo? Yeah, but you're always lining up your after party. Nope, not me. Selective. I am not a hoe. Hey, no judgment. Haha, you make me laugh. I know, I'm funny. Haha. What's on your mind? Nada. Just about to start cooking. Okay.
For the love of God, John, please tell me you're talking about the text messages.
Okay. What's on yours? I'm going to a Hillside Regulars 60th tomorrow. This could be a new low for me. Who?
Detective, if I could interrupt 1 second. When there is a date that's delineated, could you just state the date out loud so the jurors follow the date progression?
Starting.
I don't say anybody's just in anything. All I'm saying is that this is Michael Practice, former supervisor, reading text messages between Brian Higgins and Karen Reed.
With the next one.
I'm saying the next text message date or
Yes, sir.
date within.
Where the
Yes,
above or
absolutely.
below the bubbles.
It's still Friday
So
the 14th.
this screen here is Friday, January 13th at 3:33 p.m.
Thank you.
I believe I Stop before Bob Clinton. Everybody can't stand him. I detest him. His breath smells like ass. OMG, always. His daughter and I have mutual friends. I actually don't mind him when he's socially distant. I think he's friendly. Why detest? Yeesh. Talks like an ass clown. Maybe I am being too hard. He just says crazy shit. Doesn't know his audience. Geez. Is he different from anyone else in there? Haha. His wife and daughter are cooler than he is. I like his wife. Never met the daughter. A nurse? Yes. Her fiance is a firefighter. By coincidence with people I grew up with. Crazy. Sunday, January 16th, 12:59 a.m.
A 2
You're
day
nuts.
gap.
Foul ball. You stink. You suck. And you're double. Trouble. You're hot. Are you serious or messing with me? No, I'm serious. Feeling is mutual. Is that bad? How long have you thought that? Are you okay driving? You don't want to stay here? I am fine. I have an office at the PD. You didn't answer the question. Rather you stay here? I wish. I think you're messing with me. Why do you think that? Because this is so out of left field. Where did these feelings come from? I just think you're like me. Meaning, do you have your own kids? I have no kids. How am I like you? Hello? Aren't we alike? I think so. So, why did you get my number and reach out to me? Shoot straight with me. I told you, I just think we're alike, right? Yes, agree. Now what? I don't know. Shouldn't you know?
Thank you,
Do you like
Joanne.
me? Yes, from Jump. When was Jump? First time I saw you. When was that? Hillside for sure.
Higgins.
When were you interested? I don't know. You're just my type. You think you can handle me? I thought you were happy. How do you know if I'm happy? I just assumed. Are you to handle? What do you like about me? I just feel like you're from my neighborhood. Yeah, ditto. And I think you're hot. You really think that? I have always thought that about you. What? That you're hot, smart.
These messages are between Brian Higgins and Karen Reed.
Witty. But I didn't think you were interested. Witty. Yeah, meaning quick with a response. Tell me why you got my number and reached out to me. Just thought we were the same, from the same neighborhood. Are you afraid to say what's in your mind? On? No. Didn't I? I am glad I stopped by. I should have come earlier. Do you really live in Mansfield? Yeah, I was basically begging you. You don't have to beg. Huh?
No, John will keep
I will
his.
give you whatever you want. How are you texting right now? Ugh, leaving me hanging. No. Kids? Kinda. How am I texting? Is everyone asleep? I'm just wide awake on my phone. Yes, they are. I should have stayed, LOL. So now what? Yes, you should have. That would have been distracting. So know what? Now. Now what? Ball's in your court. What do you want? Loaded question. What do you want? I asked you. Nope. You initiated this.
This is a delayed live. We start late so we can fast forward through the breaks.
Spit it out. Hey, we're single and we don't have kids. We can do whatever we want. Don't you have a boyfriend? Where are you? Canton. Where? My office at the PD. Why are you going to Mansfield? Where is that? Canton PD. I have a house there from before I reconnected with John. Oh, I feel like you're not really
Thank
saying
you,
what's
Mother.
on your mind. Do you like me? Yes, clearly. Come over to my house. When? When works for you? Whoever, whenever. When works for you? I asked you first.
Thank you, Lamb Chops.
I think you're messing with me. I'm glad you came over tonight. Me too. Ball's in your court. What do you want, Karen? You look great tonight. I don't know. What do you want? You always do. Yeesh, really? Why? I look great? You're full of it. I think you're hot. Always have thought that. Just have not revealed my thoughts. I'm hot for the hillside. Low comps. Knock it off. You're hot, period. Are you glad you walked me out? Yes. Are you? Def. Yes. Are you going home tonight or tomorrow AM? We kiss, right? Is this a trick question? I don't know when I'm going home. I am selling my house. What a trick question. Are you moving to Canton? I am following your lead with this. I live here, but I have a property in Enfield. Why my lead? I don't want any responsibility. You started this, right? Why did you get my number and each out of me and each out to me? Still have not told me. Sorry, should I not have? I am fine with it. Just don't know why you can't answer. You're mad at me? OMG. No, not at all. You're being silly. I told you. I just think you're like me and I am attracted to you a lot. Feelings mutual. I just never saw this coming. Why? Because I just assumed you were happy with your situation. I was, but things have deteriorated. Why? How so? What did Melissa say when you asked for my number? It is very, very complicated. He and I dated when we were kids, and then his sister died and everything got fucked up. He seemed very into you. I just told Melissa that I had your number, but lost it. That's cute. She wasn't suspicious? No, she's great. Does she know you like me? She's a sweetie. We just agreed that you're great. What does that mean? I was jealous that she had your number. Look, like you're either all in or you're out. Why would you be jealous? I am not attracted to her at all. I have always been attracted to you. Really? Yes. Since the first time I saw you, we would have fun. Where are you? I told you, Canton PD, my office. So are you selling your place and moving to Meadows? Yeah, but where is that? I have had all my shit here for a couple of years, and my house has been vacant, but I'd like to get closer to the water. Are you breaking up or staying together? I don't know. He hooked up with another girl on vacation. I am very close to his niece. It is a very fucked up situation. When was that?
Guys, remember to stay respectful to each other in my chat. Clearly, everybody in this situation wasn't being truthful with each other. It's that simple.
And how did you find out he hooked up? I don't want to complicate your situation. We went away for New Year's, the four of us. I put the kids to bed and found him in the lobby of our hotel, all over one of our friends. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It does matter. Did they bang? Does that matter? Sorry, I was just asking. I was just trying to figure shit out. It doesn't really matter. Okay, I won't ask again. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Okay, hear you loud and clear, Karen. Oh, okay. Why are you getting your thing all twisted up over simple questions, Dawn? I am not, am I? You're kind of getting defensive. Not at all. What is the question? Do you feel guilty texting me? No. Okay. What do you want from me? Nothing. Do you want anything from me? I would hang out. Oh, gee, thanks. OMG. What am I supposed to say? You're being tough on me. None of us is married. True. So game on? We can say whatever we want. Game on?
did.
You said mixed messages. I wish I stayed. Okay, game on then. Kinda. Can you hang? Sure. I hope you toss and turn tonight. I always do. Why? Why'd you say that? I just do. Why? 'Cause you're fresh. No, I'm not. Okay. Do you always get what you want? Be sweet to me, please. I could be so sweet. I've been very sick. I had colon cancer and 10 surgeries in 18 months. I'm a wreck. I had no idea. Are you okay now? I never get what I want, just what I need. I am okay. What do you need? What need to be content?
Brian Higgins and Karen Reed.
What can I do to make you happy? Haha, don't worry. I've always been very happy. You talk in riddles. Just tell me why you contacted me, huh?
Yes, today.
What's the big deal? I told you. Just think you're like me. What does that mean? Like you want to hang with me? You asked why I contacted you. Yes. Excuse me. Yeah, I did ask. We are attracted to each other, right? Reasonable question. Yes, 100%. Okay. We did kiss earlier. No? I think you initiated that. No? Yep. Do I owe you an apology? OMG. No. Why are you being sensitive? I am not. Kinda. No. Excuse me. Never. What do you want from me? What's on the table? What do you want ideally?
Blue one.
The real deal. Sunday, January 16th, 7:37 a.m. Doesn't exist.
This is between Karen Reed and Brian Higgins.
Haha. Sunday, January 16th, 5:53 p.m. So you like Hennessy XO? Sunday, January 16th, 7:15 p.m. I am hurting so bad. Yeah, me too. The Kerns went after it again at noon today. No way. This was about 2 hours before you came over. Haha. I am heading for drinks soon. Really? Yeah. Tuesday, January 18th, 5:09 p.m. What's on tap? Haha. What does that mean? Usually means, what are you up to? Cute. I just wrapped work. Unpacking some groceries. You? What's on tap? Also unpacking crap for my car. Anything good? Nothing on tap. Shame. You were a ghost yesterday. I can't be the cruise director every day. Shame. Julie McCoy? Wish I was at my cave house in front of the fire sipping a drink. Wish I knew how to use my fireplace. From Love Boat. How old is your bad self? Haha, that was my guess. 42 next month. I know the Love Boat. I was more Brady Bunch. Haha, what day? 2/26.
I don't know.
Nice. You're just a tad pole. Got ya. When is the next party? Pole. Oops. It's all relative. What pole and poke? I'd have a party every weekend if it were up to me. No. 42 equals Tedpole. Oh. I keep reminding myself that aging is a privilege. The better parties are at my house. No kids.
Then go and do it, Lori.
Why are they better? Well, first, BC, there's no kids. You were ghost yesterday. Thought I heard the last of you. Phones work both ways. I don't want to disturb you, or you could be otherwise engaged. I don't know your routine. I didn't use the word engaged, did I? Huh? Engaged? As like doing something with someone? Yes, that's what I thought you meant. Are you being fresh today? No. Now that you sobered up. Haha. I felt sober next to everyone else on Saturday. Good point. You're still trouble. Haha.
Thank
Why
you.
am I? Just playing with you. What is that? Whiskey.
No, a
with
different
a
person,
big
Lori.
ice cube. What kind of whiskey? Jameson, right? Cherry in middle. What good does that do? Are you in W Rocks? So good, yeah. Do you have a 4:30 a.m. bell tomorrow? Why do you ask? Trying to figure out how many whiskeys you're going to have? Depends. I don't restrict myself from having fun. How many Hennessy XOs you having? None. I have none at my house. Haha.
Hi, Cindy. Happy
I am
Friday.
not really trouble. Want me to pick you up next time I go to the base? Usually cheaper and tax-free. Just a little based on your conduct. The base? Military base. I go through the Henny fast. I shop there a lot. I can as a veteran. My conduct? I'm not married. I'm the only one who does everything right. What kind of veteran? Where is the base? Dude, chillax. Teasing you. Are you serious? Veteran from Iraq. I can go to any base, but usually,
No, Brian Higgins and Karen.
Hanscom in Bedford or down the Cape. Which base down the Cape? Which branch? Army. I'm not abnormally sensitive. Join base Cape Cod. I won't be so hard on you. Oh my God, you're not. You called me trouble.
Karen wasn't married. She was in a relationship with John O'Keefe, and Brian Higgins is a friend of theirs.
That makes me sound bad. I was just playing with you. You weren't, but that's okay. Stop being sensitive, please.
Thank you for
I am not.
subscribing, Lori. I appreciate you.
Okay, so what's up? Did you figure out how many whiskeys? You mean tonight? Yes. Not sure. I am flexible and adaptable. Why are you so
Thank you for the
curious?
follows.
Are you drinking? I haven't had a drink yet. Just want to see what you're up. Looking for an influencer.
It's
My
cold.
day was long. Influenced? How? Are you in Canton or Mansfield tonight?
They both are flirting, yes.
Influenced to have a drink, even though it's Tuesday, in Mansfield. How often do you stay there?
You guys have to remember that sometimes when people argue, that is their way of flirting. Never said it was a world that makes sense.
Is it a nice crib, house, or condo? I stay here once or twice a week. House. I guess it's nice. I like it. How long have you owned it? How many beds? Rooms? 2017 or 18? 5 bedrooms. What? Why so big? I don't know. It's an old colonial. It has a lot of bedrooms. More than you clearly need. Are you moving to Canton? I know, seriously. Some rooms I only go into dust. Not anytime soon. I'm there for most of the time, but sometimes it's a lot. A lot why? Do you even know what you want or who? Because I went from being solo to trying to give attention to kids.
On the stand, his first name is Yuri. He was Michael Proctor's supervisor, state police.
Who aren't mine. And they never wanted kids. I thought you were in this happy relationship.
Ashley, I don't even know.
Everyone is happy at Hillside. Oh, God. You avoid things. It's just a very, very complicated dynamic with the 4 of us. He isn't cut out for what he's doing, and the kids present constant issues. I think he believes he is doing the right thing.
Not for 68
Well, of course
weeks.
he is, but his heart isn't in it. It's only because he was very, very close to his sister.
No, Karen does not have kids.
I know how you feel, kinda. I was married, and when I met her, she had a 2.5-year-old. I went from being single to being a dad. It's hard. I am divorced since 2017 and have no kids. I try very hard, but they are very spoiled, and they're not my family. My parents keep telling me I'd feel different if they were mine, or my own sisters. Then I told you he got drunk and sloppy on New Year's Eve while we were away, and that has really affected me. What did he exactly do? I never got married, and now somehow I'm arguing with someone about raising kids. Why won't you tell me? He was a puddle all day and then disappeared. Then I found him all over friend's sister in the lobby of our hotel, and she's gross, which I think may actually be worse. Not sure. Oh God, did they bang?
Yeah, I can run a poll. I'll run a quick poll. If you guys think she is guilty, click the smile face. If you think she's innocent, the cry face. You just gotta tap the one. I don't pick it. TikTok does. Guilty is the smile face. Not guilty is the cry face. Just tap whichever one you think.
So I was the kids celebrating New Year's without him, which shouldn't be my role. No, I doubt it. He was a mess. Was it the first time with her, or do you think there were others? I don't really think there were others. I'm with him all the time. He never seems to want to go anywhere without me. But honestly, the issues with the kids bother me more than him actually cheating. They're constant, and it feels like lose-lose. You clearly have a lot of feelings swirling inside of you. Yeah, it's very complicated. Sorry for the rant. You can vent, babe.
93-7. Alan, I see you keep asking who is she. Who is what? Are you asking who is Karen Reed? She's the one on trial right now. The name's right there. 93-7. Now let me ask you guys that question a different way. If you guys think that there was any evidence that would show you even one kernel of reasonable doubt, if you got evidence that was reasonable doubt, click the smile face. If you did not, the cry face. If you guys are not familiar with this case or you missed some of the days, I put all the lives on my YouTube after we're done. So Michelle's Criminal Musings on YouTube has all of them. We're doing this as the virtual jury, guys. This is only our second time doing a virtual jury because we like digging into things, and we all took an oath to not do that. So I can only give you guys what limited information I have.
Wait, so what was the vote?
The vote is on 49-1, and that is for if you think that there is if there was any reasonable doubt so far, just one little piece, the smile face. If you don't think there's reasonable doubt, the cry face.
I'm not the one before, but okay.
If you want to know, then join the live. I'm not going to sit here and repeat things to you.
All you said was the score, but you didn't say which one was which.
78-8. Those of you that voted that you have not seen reasonable doubt, how long have you been watching this case? 'Cause I think you've missed quite a bit then.
Basically, I just feel like I spread myself too thin, and sometimes it's thankless. You probably felt that way too.
Thank you for the follows, guys.
I did at times. It was one, not two, thankfully. Want to grab a drink?
Guys, we do not go after people for how they vote or what they think in here. This is not the place for it. Not here.
If you gave me some notice, I could have. You said you were adaptable. I am. But I have my work truck with me and not my personal. Do you get angry when you don't get your way? That sounds like an excuse. I rarely get my way. I don't make excuses. I don't make excuses. If I don't want to deal with someone, I tell them. Then I am a ghost. Why do you even want to hang with me? Don't we already hang out?
Okay, Christina.
I don't make excuses.
Thank you, LT.
Work truck, personal truck. What does that doesn't sound like a massive
Thank you.
problem. I end up drinking with you at least once a week, I'd say. I can't use my work truck for transportation to go drink. You think so? What makes you so sure?
Thank you.
Probably would be fun. I think I see you about once a week at a bar, no? Not lately, but yes. Okay.
No, but I really wish Higgins was on the stand. This is Michael Proctor's former supervisor, Yuri. He is reading the text messages between Higgins and Karen Reed.
So you asked why I want to hang out. I'm just saying that I already hang out with you. Yeah, but we have never one-on-one. Does going to a friend's house qualify as transportation to drink?
I agree, Joe.
Yeah, because I can't just have one. Can't drive
You're
that
welcome.
banged up. Have none then. There's 5 bedrooms
no,
here.
She's not going to.
Does mine have a lock on the door? Haha, LOL. I don't even know. I think so. You probably have a spare key.
Yes.
I don't know if
Higgins
I
is at
ever
the house.
shut and locked a door here. Funny. Trust me, I am tempted. Grab the Hennessy. Thanks, doll. Funny. I am confused. You don't feel guilty in inviting me over? Should I? I don't know. Who knows what you feel? Only know what you said when you were drinking Hennessy. Haha. Geez, I just explained everything, I thought. Wow. You get angry easy. What are you talking about? I'm not angry, at the least. Okay, good. And I haven't had a single drink today. Okay. I don't really think I should feel guilty. Why is that? Why should I not? Dude, I am just asking. Don't get your thong all twisted up.
I see where you're
Yeah,
going,
I just
Priscilla,
don't
yeah.
know what the question was. You have no impact on my thong?
Wait, what?
I think I try my best to do.
Did he just read that you have no impact on my thong?
Mm-hmm. Because he said, why is your thong on a twist?
do the right by people, and sometimes people suck. And I'm not married, nor do I have kids. I agree, but you kind of have a live-in boyfriend. You act like
We don't know.
you act like I ask dumb questions. Yeah, kind of, but it's been a long time, and there's ups and downs. So at some point, you have to think more rationally. Do you plan on leaving him? I'm sorry. I don't think they're dumb. It's just hard back and forth on text to understand the question. When you ask what day, earlier, read my birthday, I thought for a full minute that you meant what day did I use to watch the Brady Bunch. And I had typed a text every school day at 4 and 4:30.
I don't know, Tiff, and I can't Google it because as the virtual jury, we're not allowed to do any research. So you'll have to Google it yourself, dear.
I meant what day was your B-day. I don't have any plans at the moment in either direction. Sometimes I go back and forth. Yeah, I figured that out. What's your interest in me? I assume people have been interested in you before. True. First, I think you're fun to talk to. I like sizing other people up. You seem to be private, which I also like, and probably pretty independent too. So I am a ton of fun. I am super private and do not talk out of school. I am safe. Does that make sense? I am all of that and more. Safe? Like I am private. Don't talk out of school with what I do or who I hang with. Do I aggravate you? Haha, no. According
Yes,
to John,
teacher.
you may occasionally talk out of school. He said that about me? But that's none of my business. With respect to what exactly? None of my biz. So then why invite me to your house party? Now I am aggravated. Tonight's house party or last week? OMG, why? Last week.
No, it's between Karen and Brian Higgins.
Like, why would he talk shut about me? Because we all like you. Everyone does. Geesh. You just said he talked shit about me. He wasn't talking shit at all. He always says how much he likes you. Just mentioned Brian does all right for himself. He has not said one negative thing about you ever. I just didn't think you were that private, that's all. I am about a lot of things. Don't be so sensitive. I am good. Oh, geez. Are your panties in a twist now? Stop. Nah, my boxers are just fine. Okay. You're not gonna run your work truck through the gears tonight? I thought you were tons of fun. No, I am not. As much as I would like to. Moving on to the next call. Huh? Will you stop? You sensitive again? I can't really follow your thought process. You keep kind of insulting me a little. I am still confused why you want to hang with me. It's
Brian Higgins and Karen Reed.
also out of left field. No, I am not. Are you single? Yes. I don't think it's out of left field. Wasn't I already begging you to come over last Saturday? You getting my number from Melissa and reaching out to me. And then on vacay and probably a few other occasions. You didn't really beg. I asked at least twice. How do people usually reach out to each other? Why would I have thought you had any interest in me?
If you guys missed any other days of the case, I put all the lives on my YouTube when I'm done. So if you've missed day 1 through 11, they're on my YouTube, Michelle's Criminal Musings.
Usually do it when they do live with someone. Do not. Maybe, maybe not. So you have sent me signs before? Did I miss them? John and I have had a lot of ups and downs.
She texted.
And we already did this nearly 20 years ago. And there's kids involved that get attached and things get muddy. I don't know what the answer is, but I feel very strongly that I've put my best effort in with all three of them, and the extended family too. At some point, it gets frustrating, and my actual feelings take precedence.
Just clear it up really quickly, guys. This is the defense having him read this, not the prosecution.
I get it. I am not denying that or that it gets tough. Do you remember anything you said to me the other night? I'm just trying to explain where I'm coming from. Yes. I get it. I deleted it because I didn't want to do my own text walk of shame. But I'm pretty sure I remember everything. Okay. So don't you think it would complicate and confuse your situation if we hang out? Fair question. Probably. Do you only do things with that simplify your life? Nope. I complicate my life on the regular. Yeah, so does everyone else. Just so you know, I thought you were extremely hot off the rip. Amazing personality. I could go on, but I do not. Want to pump your shut up too much. Thanks for saying that, but low comps at Hillside. You know how to ruin something nice. I frequent other places. John has showed me about 5 times the Ring video of me walking you out on Saturday, and my voice and my accent are killing me softly. What? Yeah, he has cameras everywhere. You cops. Jesus. He Christ, are you guys hooking up? OMG, great. I don't need your drama, dude. No, it's fine. Seriously? I am serious. You legit planted one on me. I know where the cameras are anyway, duh. Oh my God, Bruins. So your slick move isn't on there? Of course not. OMG, I almost. It was a peck anyway. I kissed Carrie and gay Jeff too. Yeah, weak, I agree. LOL, funny. So now he is jealous of me? No, I told you he likes you a lot, which makes this worse. You said or did something at the bar last week, and he goes, I like Brian more and more. I think he is a good dude too. Yeah, he is. Funny. What's your end game? What do you want from me? You will just confuse the shot out of yourself. Shit. Because I am a lot of fun. So am I. I'm sure I'm more fun than you. How so? Details. I don't know. I hate people on the whole, but I've been told by many people that I'm a lot of fun. I don't do anything half-ass. Nothing.
Yes, Alan.
So what do you want from me? I don't know. I just like you so I reached out. You have zero idea? Nope. Oh
Okay.
God. What now? Why oh God? Because I need some direction. Well, I'm not an FG Oracle, sorry. That's actually funny. Do you eventually get what you want? I told you, rarely. So you're a quitter, a realist. So you reached out to me? A ballsy move. Now what?
Thank you, Lisa.
The things I worked the hardest for have meant the most. Does Melissa know you dig me? Ballsy? Not really. I already know you. True. But you have a man. I figured if you text with Melissa, you'd definitely text with me. She isn't trying to hang with me. Of course she is. Plus, I never really texted with her other than to see if they were headed out. I asked you over, is what? You made excuses. That's fine. But I'm not asking again. She doesn't like me like that. I'm sure she does. What makes you so sure? BC, she said, I'd love to set Brian up with my sister. She deserves such a good guy like him. That doesn't mean she wants to. Bang me, he-self. And I think Lito is kind of a dink, so I'm sure Melissa likes you a wee bit. Herself. Yeah, he is interesting. Have you always had trouble accepting compliments? Yeesh. No. It at all. All yours came to me after a day of drinking. You were way more all over me that day. So what? Don't most compliments come that way?
I have no idea.
Like all over me with compliments and how you felt. It was 3:30 a.m. It was fun. I've complimented you today, too, and kicked my nuts in. Oh my God, how? If I had more notice, I would have grabbed a drink somewhere. So I am all set with. That's fine, but I am not asking again. Well, it was 7 p.m., and I'm super cool. So right now, asking again. Excuse me. So right now, asking again. Coming to your house would have been bad for the both of us. For starters, you wouldn't have wanted me to leave. Now equals not. That sounds good. That's trouble. Why? Because you wouldn't have made me stay, locked me in your room. No, I wouldn't have. Haha, you wish. I don't share a bed with anyone ever. I have my own room in Canton. What? Yeah, I think sharing a bed is archaic. Is that the one you wanted me, TK, stay in? You sit like to be spooned? You don't? Not for more than a minute or two. Weird. You would rather sleep alone? I've got to make my sleep count. So doesn't everyone? Honestly, I am the world's lightest sleeper. I can hear an ant crawling across the floor, and I wake up almost hourly, which isn't fair to whoever I'm sleeping with. Okay, bet Melissa isn't like that. Haha. Lori wouldn't like that. I know for a fact Melissa isn't like that. She told me she can't even fall asleep unless they're spooning. Lito rolled his eyes and pointed a gun at his head. You've probably got to go to work on your truck. Talk soon. Whatever. Lighten up, Francis. Let me know when you figured you're shut out. That's a tailor-made joke for an Army vet. No one else has it figured out. Why do I? Combat vet. I didn't say non-combat. I told Sat, I think you're hot, and since told you how cool I think you are. Maybe you're actually a jerk. What do you want me to say/do? I'm pretty sure you're seeing people too. I am not a jerk. Don't change the narrative to suit yourself. Own your words. I don't think you're a jerk. I don't have simple answers to your questions. It's actually simple. What do you want from me? What do you desire? To start, I would just like to hang out because I like to talk to you and hear what you have to say. If that's it, I'd be happy. Okay, I will lock you into that statement. That's fine. I suspect you will give up eventually. Just so you know, I will still be your friend.
This is between Karen Reed and Brian Higgins, and it's being read by Michael Proctor's former supervisor.
Clearly, you're trying to give me a Heisman. No, not at all. Why would you say that? Because I've tried and I am failing. Tried what? Failing what? Hot and personality and what else? What's the I could go on and on part? You see, it feels like a Heisman, sugar-coated with a few compliments. That's okay. I asked you over on a seemingly uneventful Tuesday. Yeah, with 0 heads up. I have to get up at 4:30 a.m. Didn't
This is today, but we start later to fast forward through the breaks.
hear from you yesterday at all, so I should have been a mind reader that you were going to extend an offer to your crib for a drink. If you want to give up, that's on you. You're being silly, for the record. No, I'm busting your chops. It's okay. No, you're sensitive. Nice try. You don't think if I came over for a drink, we would have got carried away? You said you were adaptable and tons of fun. I took that as an invite for an invite. Oh, okay. I'm 42. I know what happens when you invite someone for a drink. You're the master of avoidance. So you think I would just give it to you? Give yo to you? Give it up. I've been a lot in my life. I have a little bit of a carpe diem mindset. Been through.
Right, Golden, I agree.
What am I avoiding? I'm not afraid to be direct. Some of my questions. Okay, which? Ask again. Nope. Tricks are not for kids. I'm pretty sure we would have hooked up. Okay, I can't say that. Of course you can. Did I miss any other questions, sir? Probably. Are you having a drink right now? Yeah, on my second.
I'm not sure, Jilly. I'm sure we'll find out when they finish. I don't know.
Show me what you got. I went for some wine and downgraded to a mudslide. The taunting in me. Haha. I had to make another one because you got me all worked up. I could have made it for you, weirdo. Sure you could have. Done a lot.
This is Karen Reed and Brian Higgins text messages.
And you got yourself worked up, buddy? Yep, I am. What a crime? Excuse me. That a crime? Are you annoyed? Kinda. Why? Because you this offer on me last minute of through. I could have made 3-round tips by now.
I mean, just what it says. A group of us decided to be a virtual jury.
Excuse me. I apologize. You could have made 3-round trips by now. Oh, I bet. Crickets. 4-round trips. Bite me. Geez, that's fresh. So you only say like one nice thing per day? Tough.
Yeah.
You're impossible. Let me know when you figured this out. You're impossible. I've been pretty straightforward. You're wishy-washy. What do you want from me? Doesn't matter. Okay then. Wednesday, January 19th, 10:08 a.m. Sup? Sup? You tell me, playa. Just working remotely. Sweet. From Mansfield? Yep, you? I am in Canton at the moment. I want to drink. Haha. Is that bad?
Okay, this is getting really uncomfortable.
Really? I think day drinking once a week is okay. Go celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Tuck Rule. I can't wait until tonight. Wednesday, January 19th, 1:07 p.m. Where are you planning on heading? Not sure. Wednesday, January 19th, 3:34 p.m. I'd invite you over here, but you probably have your work truck. Here we go. I assume that's a pass, no problem. What's wrong with you? Excuse me? I didn't answer fast enough? Huh? Where'd you get that from? You're tough to make plans with.
It's uncomfortable for me to hear the flirting back and forth and know that knowing what happened. Thank you, Stacy. And that's just my opinion.
I'm headed out shortly. I tried. Where to? I'm meeting my friend in town till about 7 and then likely make my way back. Okay. Where are you headed back to, Shady? I assume that means Shady. I'm meeting my gal pal, who's from Canton, back to Mansfield. Do I know her? Name? I don't think so. Julia Mellon. Lives on Sherman. I'm not trying to be difficult. I just don't want any drama for either of us. I don't either. Okay. Trust me, I am tempted. I don't think it's a big deal. What? You coming over to my place? Or you coming over mine? Okay. You clearly are getting aggravated with me and my lack of participation. No, I'm not aggravated at all. Okay, we're good. I will see you around. I knew this is how you would act. Whatever. You can get most any guy you want, so you're not losing any sleep over this. None of that is true. I'm not talking to any other guys, and I have issues with John, and things are far from perfect. You just happen to know about him because we all hang out at the same bar.
This is the text exchange between Karen Reed and Brian Higgins.
I'm sure you talk to other girls. That's what single people do. I'm not married, and neither are you. Neither is John. Was that your attempt at a lecture or deductive reasoning?
I don't know. All I know is they're having him read it, and I can't wait to hear what happens after he's done.
What do you want from me? That's just how I feel. Excuse me. That's
Blue is
that's
Higgins.
just how I think / feel. You don't need to approve. I've already answered that last question a couple of times, I think. I'm not judging you. Never have. Never will. You shouldn't. I don't know what your private life is about, nor is it my business. You just happen to know what I see, that I see someone. I don't have kids, and I'm not married. Aren't you afraid you might actually like me? I don't think that's a bad thing. Isn't that the point? Well, it would be complicated because you have a boyfriend. That's funny. You said we are all a lot alike.
John O'Keefe lost his life, and Karen Reed is on trial for his murder.
Because we are. Yeah, life never stays the same. Things always change. Okay. Why are we alike, according to you? Because we go with our gut and how we feel? Isn't that kind of what you told me? Yes, that's true.
Okay, I have to take a poll. Just for one reason. If you guys think the text exchange between the two of them counts as cheating, put a cry face. If you don't think this counts as cheating, click the smile face. I need to know where you guys are at. This was the beginning to middle of January. Cheating is the cry face, not cheating is the smile face.
Have a good night. You're clearly irritated. Sorry to bother, young you. Either texting is bad or you're sensitive. I'm not irritated at all, I swear. I had been going out with someone for a few years when I reconnected with John. And John and I got on very well at the same time, so I broke it off the other guy. He was probably starting to see other people if I was completely honest with myself.
So almost 100 of you think this is cheating. Keep in mind, she is not on trial for cheating. Keep that in mind.
I don't feel bad about any of that. I think it was meant to work out that way. So what's your point? Are you legitimately interested? Unhappy in your relationship? Mad because you saw him all over another girl? Or a hybrid of all of it?
I don't know what they have to do. I hope we're going to find out when he actually gets done reading them. I hope this isn't for nothing.
My only PT is that there's a difference between being married or someone and dating someone. And
As far as her and John, she said in the text message in the very beginning of starting reading this that he was all over another girl in the lobby, and then she started messaging him. To me, it does sound like it's revenge. But like I said, she's not on trial for that. And actually, neither is Mr. Higgins.
we have no intention of ever getting married. The PT of dating is to not get tied down if you're not confident you should be. In my mind, anyways. The first two, but I don't care too much about the other girl. Okay, so he is cool with you dating other people? And I'm not happy per se, just realistic that there's cracks and it's far from perfect.
If for nothing else, at this point, this helps you understand in Karen's own words what was going wrong in their relationship.
I doubt it. If he is seeing someone else, I wouldn't want to know either way. He probably feels the same, and you probably feel that way about whoever you hook up with. I think that's normal. Okay. You don't agree with me?
Keep in mind, Lori, we don't know that it's a group. We only know that Mr. Higgins.
You make some valid points. No shit, Sherlock. Come on, I'm funny. Sit on that and spin. See? Now you have to go below the belt. Love it there. Do you wear belts? Only once in a while. Okay. When I go into the office. Okay. Rando. Haha. I was teasing you.
It's 2 o'clock. Don't we have children to go pick up, guys? Just letting you know it's 2 o'clock.
You're getting all dressed up for me. I pretty much wear all black every day. Love it. Where you going in town?
They're
Newbury.
very cringe.
She works there. Doing? She works for my friend who's a plastic surgeon. That's how I know her. Coincidence? She lives around the corner. So funny. Around the corner from your second home.
Some of us did ask for a 2 o'clock reminder. I was just giving it.
Oh, I had to come downtown earlier, so told her I'd meet her for a
Thank you.
drink. You there now? You would like my spot at the Cape. I have a great spot for dinner and drinks down there. Are you there
Thank
tonight?
you, Ruth.
I'm a beach worshiper.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. With as much as these people drink, I'm surprised it wasn't alcohol running through their veins.
Where's that? I'm in West Roxbury, a spot in West Rocks, Dedham line. I have a pass to drive my Jeep on the beach. Lots of fun to be had. I heard. I used to rent with my friends on the beach for 7 straight years. I miss it. I've been thinking about moving to Tiverton. I can give you all the beach life you can handle. Stopping for a drink later? By where? My spot in West Rocks. Probably not for a bit. Okay.
Even when I was a college freshman, I didn't drink this much.
At a bar? I wasn't suggesting anytime soon. I know you're with your friend. I meant my house. Probably after 8. Okay. If you don't want to, that's fine. No pressure. I will. A drink? What do you drink? Are you out now? Sorry.
No, I did all my drinking when I was way younger.
I'll drink whiskey if that's what you're having. Haha. Send me a pic of you two.
I know, wouldn't that basically be impossible after 40? Maybe there's some magic that was never sent to us.
Haha, I figured. My shot is tight. Shit. Sure you can handle this.
We have a troll.
Please. Bite me.
Okay, I'll watch closer.
Stop saying fresh things. Why?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Detective. There may have been a page.
New here. It's your computer screen. What they're showing. No, we start late so we could fast forward through all the breaks. We have patients with parameters in here.
That is missing in that document, or it's not comporting with the,
Oh, you're right. I did accidentally turn the page.
no problem.
I apologize.
Thank you for the
I'm starting
follows,
it. I
guys. And
usually
thank you
drink
for
whatever
tapping the
person
screen. I
with
really
me is
appreciate
having.
that.
Yep. I usually drink whatever the person with me is having. Oh, okay. I don't take selfies either. I don't really even know how. Whatever. I wanted to see her smile.
Thank you, thank you.
I hate having my photo taken. Weak. Sorry. I am a very particular person. What's that mean? Okay, never mind. Go enjoy your friend. Go clean your house, will ya? My shit is spotless.
Guys, I know someone called out that we have a troll. If I'm missing something, just shout it out to me.
Haha, I figured. My shot is tight. Shit.
I know it is all 90s speed.
Sure you can handle this. Please, bite me.
No, Higgins, I believe it was ATF that he worked for, and John O'Keefe wasn't. He was local.
Stop saying fresh things. Why? Are those statements tempting? Nope. Oh, which statements? Perhaps you should drive directly to Mansfield. You said bite me like 3 times. Okay. 8:30ish is too late? For what? Drink. No, why? Are we not meeting up? You can stop over for a drink. Balls in your court.
Does anybody else feel like Karen wasn't ready for this age of her life? Because it looks to me like she has another man that wants a life with her, but she doesn't want that. She doesn't want to be tied down. Is that perhaps why we're hearing all of this?
Are you gonna give me the address? Yeah, we don't have to meet up if you don't want to, but I'm leaving town now. I am up for a drink. Okay, should I drive around?
Hi, Natasha. Well, doesn't everybody want to feel wanted in one way or another?
Should I drive around W. Roxbury?
Thank you.
I assume it says yelling your name, question mark? It's cut off. Are you gonna give me the address? Yeah, we don't have to meet up if you don't want to, but
Cutie, who the hell are you speaking to? Are you speaking to Karen? Because she can't see this.
I'm leaving town now. All right, it repeats itself. I apologize. So, okay, should I drive around W. Roxbury yelling your name? Haha, no. Where are you now? Newbury. Do you really want to come over? Only if you want me to. Can you take charge? I thought we already settled this. Haha.
I'm not even going to respond to that.
Okay, well, I am in my car and now getting on the highway. This feels like I am forcing you. Not at all. I am game.
No,
Okay,
Sam.
well, I'd like to know where the hell
Take
I'm
the
going.
lead.
Pike or 93? You just want to meet me at the crib, or do you want to?
Cutie, I don't know if you could realize it or not, but there's over 400 people in here and the comments are moving fast. Not everything I say is to you, dear.
Come over. Pike, I would Daub say. You decide. I don't know either. Whatever you want. I don't either play so wherever you're comfortable. You know anyone in West Rocks? I don't think so.
You're putting yourself with a little bit more weight than you should there.
Ha ha ha. Then just stop by for a drink. Up to you. No pressure. Just give me an address. I hate texting while driving. Bryant Road. Text me when close. Okay. I will show
That's
you
right, it doesn't.
where to print. Park. That's W Rocks? It's not coming up. Yeah. Then put Boston in. Bryant Drive, West Roxbury Township.
To me, it kind of seems like they're both playing with each other's feelings, honestly.
New Jersey, searching for a friend, then add your phone contacts so you can search for their address on maps. It's a screenshot sent through.
It's driving me nuts, yes.
First one. What app do you use? Turn around on the street. Park at the top of the street across from the red minivan. LMK when you're here.
This is between Karen Reed and Brian Higgins.
Here. Wednesday, January 19th, 11:13 p.m.
Jamie, right when you had typed that, I was thinking that in my head, and I started singing the song in my head, so that was kind of weird. You're on my brainwave.
Home. Alive? Cool. Thoughts? Maybes. You? What? You asked my thoughts. You didn't answer. I don't know my thoughts. Okay, I think I get it. You have any? Thursday, January 20th, 12:27 p.m. Hi. How was your day? Good, yours? I am exhausted. Yeah, that makes two of us. But I want a drink. Really? I'll give you Hardy's digits. Who? Hardy from 98.5, Midday Show. He hangs out at the Currents sometime. He's a spokesperson for Recovery Center of America. Haha, I don't have a problem. Kidding. I know.
If we end on the
Good
text,
riddance.
I'm going to be pissed.
Haha, stranger. Hey, I was at Hilly all weekend. Have not heard from you. I apologize. Sunday, January
I'm feeling that too,
23rd,
Holly.
9:40 p.m. Phone works. Thought you were all set.
29 or 23rd.
With talking? No. You sure? Friday, 11:32 p.m. Well.
She probably is, honestly.
Saturday, 11:54 a.m. John died.
All right, lights, please.
Wait, hold the hell up.
Text me when close. Okay. I will show you where to print. Park. That's W Rocks? It's not coming up. Yeah. Hardy's digits. Haha. I don't have a problem. Kidding. I know.
What's up with the redacted text message? Oh no, it's not redacted. It's part of a grass field. Never mind.
Good riddance. Haha, stranger. Hey, I was at Hilly all weekend. Have not heard from you. I apologize. Sunday, January 23rd, 9:40 p.m. Phone works. Thought you were all set. With talking? No. You sure? Friday, 11:32 p.m. Well. Saturday, 11:54 a.m. John died.
All right, lights, please.
Now, please tell me you're not about to just break on this. No, we need to know where he was going. Why did we sit here and read all those cringy messages?
Court, all rise for the jury.
Because it seems like the text